going to start streaming. We're going to start recording. Just make sure everything logs in properly. We are now live for our first ever live episode of During the End Phase podcast. So welcome to everyone watching us live. We are going to turn this into a big event. Basically, During the End Phase is a podcast that us here at Zephyr War Games produce, and you can find that on Podomatic, Spotify, and iTunes. And basically, each week we discuss certain segments. So we bring like a market watch, cards to keep your eyes on, tech cards, stuff like that for the format. We then talk about a top 3 segment. So each week is different. And then we talk about a main deck of discussion. After that, we then review a product or card release that has happened at some point this week. And then we move into the end phase where we kind of get to answer your listener questions. Now, obviously, this one is a little bit different because we are going to be live. That's right. We are going to record the podcast separately as an audio, and we are going to be uploading that to the audio feedback systems where you guys can pretty much watch, listen along, and go from there. So, as a different introduction, we're going to start this as pure as possible. So, what's up, iTunes, Podomatic, Spotify, and now YouTube. I am Dale. This is episode 14 of During the End Phase podcast, and I will be joined today, as you can see on your camera, by Joe and Donald. Say hi, guys. Yes, and as we do with every single one of our episodes, we structure it as a standard Yugioh turn. So we go off with the standby phase, and in the standby phase, we will talk about ones to watch, where each member of the podcast brings you a card that is either rising or falling in value that are a good investment. Or, of course, we will also look at tech cards or decks as well that we think can help you in the upcoming format, or even in a future format as well that some people may already know or may not have seen. We then move into main phase 1, where we will discuss our top 3 section. So this week is going to be the top 3 cards that are desperate for a reprint, whether they be meta defining, whether they just be a card that's had a single print that needs to be bumped in some way or another. We will then move into our battle phase, and in our battle phase we will discuss the main deck of discussion being Infernoble Knights. Yes, that brand new art type that was split across 2 side sets in the TCG, or 1 core set and a side set in the TCG, that has the ability to hand loop and produce some incredibly powerful synchros to their board. We will then move into main phase 2, where we will discuss and review the full list for the Megatins 2020, but mainly talking about our own personal thoughts towards said product, what some are calling the best product of the year and others are calling the worst product of the year. So we'll soon find out. Then we'll move into the end phase, and during the end phase we will talk to you guys directly. We will answer any of your questions, whether you've sent them in prior or live. One massive difference to this that you may not know right now is we will be doing giveaways for every single section. That is right. At the start of the section, I will present you guys with a question. You will put the answer in the comment section or the live chat as we go. And then at the end of the podcast, I will reveal all the answers and the winners then and there. Do not worry, everyone that is listening on either Podomatic, iTunes, or Spotify and not watching us live. There will be one ginormous giveaway for you guys at home, which also includes the questions that I'm going to read out. So all you would need to do is send them to us as a comment on Facebook, or of course on iTunes, Podomatic, or Spotify. And then we will give you a giveaway at the end as well, so you will not be left out. Do not worry. Now, with that entire introduction out of the way, let's get on with episode 14 and our first ever live podcast of During the End Phase. And we will now go to the ones to watch.
It's time
I thought you'd find that a little bit funny.
Like, where's the stream?
as that one kind of worked, ones to watch, exactly as I explained at the start, is a segment where we talk you guys through cards that are either rising or falling in value, or tech cards that are in and around the format that not a lot of people have thought of. So let's start off with Donald. Donald, what is your Market Watch card for this week?
So my Market Watch card for this week is the ultra rare Shadow Schism from Rise of the Duelist. So I was looking at this, I think even for like last week, because we were like discussing about like when we were going to do this podcast, and I've noticed that in terms of like the price, like if I recall, using values from the good old card market as usual, it was at the very beginning like something ridiculous, like €8, but then it's dropped to like 3.5. But as I think in the past 2 weeks, according to the stats, so on the 1st of April it was around 3.5, and then now at 14th of August it's now around the 6.7 euro mark. So this is clearly showing that it's gaining traction, but obviously this is to be used with the Dogmatica deck and all that. So if this ends up becoming the more predominant version of the deck to be played, this is obviously going to be more sought out. Probably, I think players only need the one because they can search it. Is that right, Dale?
Correct.
Yeah. So, people only still need the one copy, but if people then just end up doing like buyouts, then that's the bigger issue at the case. And pick up your copy now. Don't sleep on it, because it's just good, just to have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that it's getting mainly abused outside of Shadows is obviously going to be quite interesting. But I suppose with Shadows, you basically just make Winder with the quick play El Shadow anyway.
Yeah.
But what the trap does allow you to do is it does allow you to just abuse your graveyard so much more than previous. And then obviously in the Dogmatica version, the way you just do is you just send Apocalyon from the extra deck to the graveyard, search out the Schism, draw it, discard it, however you want to do it, depending on what else you want to send later on in the combo, and pull it back and do it that way. And then you're basically just going to Winder during your opponent's turn, which is a total shutout or a lockout. Excellent. Joe, what is your Market Watch card for this week?
So my Market Watch is also on the Rise of the Duelist set, and that is a card that I've been playing around with at the moment, and that is the Magical Chaos Dragon. So he's a generic level 8 synchro who has 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense, and his main gimmick, you could say, his main effect is that when he's synchro summoned, you excavate top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 light or dark from among those 5 cards to your hand, send the rest to grave, and then in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, because you can only use one of the 2 effects per turn, is that you can banish a light and dark from grave to resummon itself, but then its banishment leaves the field. So his main priority is in any light or dark based decks, or even chaos decks as well. I'm using it in my DDD at the moment, who's primarily dark based but has a light target in the extra that you primarily get in your graveyard a lot, being Formula Synchron. And I just think it's really good. When the set initially came out, it was about £10 to £15, around about that price. He's dropped down to about like 6 to 8, I believe. So, or he's still roughly around that. So if you haven't got that at the moment, a copy of it at the moment, because again, he is generic, and he is a basically +1 if you've got a dark base or light base deck, which is really cool. So mid combo, you can get some nice little pluses. And who doesn't like pluses? So yeah, that's my tech card of the budget Market Watch card. It can also be a tech card as well.
So you just completely skip the whole
mine goes into both, you see.
Oh yeah, okay. Cheating on the homework.
I like cheating homeworks. Yeah,
Questionable.
that's my market watch. So get one of those now while you can, because generic is
Fantastic.
very good.
Excellent. Okay, well, my market watch card, and I'm going to try and put this on screen for you guys as well, because I think this one is just stupid. This is one to get rid of, and this is Alistair the Invoker. Now, give me 2 seconds. This is the eBay listings. There we go. Hopefully you guys can all see this. Now, this is on bids. Is £5.50 for a Super Alistair. Now, Alistair does have a secret print, and you go, how much is a secret print? Well, secret print is nearly 10 quid. You just see my face halfway through it. Apologies. So yeah, as you can see, like £7.50 for a Super, £10 for a secret. Now, if you have any spare Alistairs, or you don't plan on playing Alistairs, anything like that, get rid of them, because I think this is a very, very good quick money maker, because they were like pounds ages ago, and now of course Dogmatica Invoked is a thing. They've shot up in price, and it's definitely a quick way to make a bit of money. And there's always that holding judgment that it could get limited or banned, or the engine could be made weaker. So
I could definitely see
Alistair's
Stanley
definitely one
implemented,
you
yeah.
should keep an eye on. Exactly. Hello, the gaming nerd, and hello, our DJ dude. Donald, what is your tech card of the week?
So my tech card of the week is going to be compulsory evacuation device. I know it's like it just brought it. I went with this card because of the like one of our games back then, being for, admittedly, yeah, you could probably go for like Ghost Ogre as a sort of more viable option, but Compulse is for the fact that you're getting rid of the monster, and mainly for the extra deck monsters, because a lot of people, or a lot of the decks, can make use of the graveyard resource of the extra deck monster per se. For example, let's give the Alistair goes into the Almirage, or then into Secure Gardener, and then you, instead of like Ghost, like if they were to like then activate something, Ghost Ogre, would send it to grave. Compulse in this situation would then prevent the attribute access in the sense, as well as yeah, I'm trying to think of like examples of like in where you don't want the extra deck monsters to hit the grave and then just goes straight back to the extra deck. Another one just on top of my head would probably be something like Toad after the bait out the negate, so that it doesn't like then be able to recycle something else back in. And then you're effectively dealing with a threat or problem that way. So yeah,
Was this because Tom flipped this on you today? I saw Tom was playing Trap Tricks, and he literally was just compulsing everyone. Like every single time someone put a monster on board, he went compulse.
Well, it's not that bad.
Set a card.
You get a compulse,
Like,
and you get a compulse.
It was exactly that. It was like literally if Oprah Winfrey was playing Compulse. Yeah, I love Compulse. I think it's a very cool card.
It's a great card. I love it. It's one of the best -1s in the game. I think like that
it's
next to Book of Moon. It's just so good. It's literally don't want to deal with it.
It's definitely like a dated card now. Like, it's sad to say, but what I mean by a dated card is that it targets and returns to hand. So like a modernized version of it would literally just be return 1 to your opponent's hand. So
I remember
that's
when it was on the ban list. Who remembers that when it was limited?
1, 2, 3. Hello.
It was crazy.
Joe, what is your tech card without cheating?
What? Chaos Rule is not good? So, no, mine's a new card, Dogmatica Punishment.
I love that card.
I just see a lot of versatility in this card. Primarily, in fact, technically, you can use it in any deck, because pretty much any deck uses the extra deck and has at least a 3k beta in there. If it's not a Savage Dragon, it's a Borrow monster, it's a Topper Logic, because of like Zero Boss, because he's still technically being played. Yeah, so if you got just from those targets alone, even if you're using them and you still use your extra deck, if you've got like an established board, you at least can then just throw up the punishment, just pop something, and then you may be locked out on your next turn, but at least you got rid of a threat, maybe stalled out your opponent for the turn, you can just kill them next. But for those decks that don't need the extra deck, this is like the next best thing for you, because you could just toss in like a 5-headed dragon in your extra deck. It's like, cool, I'm guaranteed a kill, because nothing is over 5k.
Nah, you're thinking too small, man. You just put inces in there, and you put it in a chaos deck.
But like, just solely on the basis of like I want punishment to do the removal, and that's it. If you're not based on your extra deck, again, 5-headed dragon, master dragon knight, just anything. Blue Eyes ultimate dragon, because again, 4/5, that's still really good. Like, just toss that in the grave, get some kills. Next turn, just do a bit more setting, stalling, and then just keep going from there. Yeah, mine's a Dogmatic Punishment. I'm actually taking it in my Predator plans at the moment, just because you can just send Chimera Ephesian, get a kill of 2400, I believe, and then or less, and then call Search a Fusion spell on my next turn. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the card. So for those of you that don't know what the card is, I'm about to put it on screen for you now.
Good evening. Saying hello to the people in the chat.
Yes, actually, while he's doing that, Supreme King and Gentlemen, hello. And Zed Semp, good evening.
You got
good evening.
Aaron Tyranno, if I didn't butcher your name completely, I will get to that question at some point. Don't you worry.
Yeah, so Dogmatic Punishment is now on the board. Basically, the way it works is you target one face-up monster your opponent controls and send one monster from your extra deck with the same or higher attack. And then if you do, destroy it. And then until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. You can only activate one punishment per turn. But the idea is that Ecclesia can search this, and then if you send an Unce, you're popping 2 cards. And then the reason I say send Unce is because not only do you pop 2 cards, but if you play a Chaos deck, you've got a light in graveyard already, so you just banish the light.
That's pretty good.
And then off you go. And then if you're playing the bigger Chaos monsters, just imagine this, right? Imagine turn 1, you went through your extra deck correctly, put them into the graveyard. If they're lights and darks, you banish them, summon Chaos Creator out. Chaos Creator can then bring it back. You're not special summoning from your extra deck, you're special summoning from the banish zone.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
So,
you got versatility as well. Actually, I like that. That's good. When you said Unce being light, for some strange reason, I just thought, she's on a boat. She's clearly water.
she's clearly like...
She's clearly water attribute. She's on a boat. Because that's how Yu-Gi-Oh artworks go, by attributes.
Speaking of chaos, so my tech card of the week is Chaos Creator. I just think it's right now as well, the fact that it's really cheap it's just a really good card to get, because you could arguably say Chaos Spaces as well, but with Chaos Creator, because what makes it so much better is exactly like I just explained. If you play it correctly, it actually brings back a lot more than you even consider. So boat equals water.
Yes, I'll say yes.
Crystal combo in Dragon Link. Oh, that sounds horrible. You're gonna win the duel just by playing that combo. But yeah, so Chaos Creator is you banish a light and dark, special summon it, and then if it was special summoned via its own effect, it's been going on for like 19 minutes. So we've only had the introduction, and we're on the ones to watch segment. We haven't done our first giveaway yet, so you don't need to rush on that. Yeah, so basically you banish a light and dark, and then you get to target 3 monsters that are banished. I think it needs to be light and darks with different names. You put 2 on the bottom of your deck, and you special summon the other one. So if you've made a unicorn, banish the unicorn to bring out the Chaos Creator. Special Diamond Chaos Creator, you can bring back the Unicorn, and then straight away you could use Unicorn and Chaos Creator to make a Link 4 if you wanted to. Yeah, you can get monsters over level 12. I think FA was like one of the first that didn't really have a held back restriction. So it was just like, well, it was like the Synchro that increased its level, but it never said that it had to stop, so it could go up like so much higher. Chaos Valkyrie is a collector's rare, yes. I haven't seen a collector's rare Chaos Valkyrie yet, but it's still really cool. Okay, so that was our segment. For those of you just joining us now, we went through a market watch. So the market watches for each of us were as follows. So mine was As to the Invoker, and I think it's worth selling because the secret is like 10 quid here in the UK and like £7 on a super. Donald, your one was?
Shadow Schism that I recommend picking up now. Yep.
And then Joe's was?
The Chaotic Ruler.
The Chaotic Ruler. And then we've all done our tech cards. So my tech card, of course, was Chaos Creator. Joe's was?
Dogmatic Punishment.
And Donald's was?
False.
Donald's was Compulse. There you go. So we've just done a quick recap of everything we've done. Now, before we move into our second segment, which is our main phase, and we want every single one of you watching and listening at home as well to get involved. So our next three will be the top 3 cards that we think are desperate for a reprint. And I can imagine that there's a lot of you guys out there going, oh, this needs a reprint, this needs a reprint. So,
by the sounds of it, apparently my Dolce Hoot Cake needs it because it's £20 at the moment.
$20.
That's only because every other one of them got a reprint and that one didn't.
Yeah, apparently that's the last one.
Yeah, it's
the last one
out.
needs a reprint. Anyway, once we get into the next section, which will be our main phase on our top 3 cards that are desperate for a reprint, we will reveal our first giveaway. So, let's check out our top 3. Now, of course, those 3 reprints we put on the screen are not needing a reprint. They've probably had more reprints in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game than any other card. But this is a segment where we're going to talk about either meta staples that even after their 4th print still need a reprint because they're too expensive. But I think we're going to try and aim for cards that just haven't had many reprints at all. We'll try and avoid the more recent cards as well because obviously realistically they're not going to have a reprint. So before we get started, our very first question for a giveaway. So this giveaway, I will announce the winner at the end and you can show me we'll arrange postage and stuff. Postage will be free, but I just need to get your address to send it. So the first one is for these right here. So this is 1 pack of Eternity Code, 1 pack of Dark Neo Storm, 1 pack of Chaos Impact, and 1 pack of Ignition Assault. One of everything. And basically, all you need to do to be answered to this is I need you to put the answers in the comments as well. The live chat is, now listen very carefully, from the original anime, so not season 0, but season 1. How many Blue Eyes White Dragons are in existence? No trick questions. These are just general questions. So, this again, in the original anime, so the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh!, how many Blue Eyes White Dragon cards are said to be in existence? Right, let's get on with our top 3. Top 3 cards that are desperate for a reprint. Joe, let's start with you.
My number 3rd, you could probably argue that it's still a bit too soon, but it's the Evil Hero Adusted Gold. Just thinking about it and knowing that Japan has this as I believe a rare or a super, so it's stupidly easy for them to have play sets in their deck, and it makes the Evil Heroes quite budget, arguably. I just think it's just ridiculous. It is one of the most... It's still... Even though heroes are technically meta, it's still technically also a fun deck. It's a deck that a lot of people should be able to play because it's a protagonist deck. I think that's the best argument. It's the protagonist deck. Everyone wants to or should be able to play as Jade and Yugi, no matter wherever they are. whoever they are, they should be able to play it. And if they want to go down the Supreme King route, you need a dusted golds. And it being at £50+, like if you can get a really good deal, like I've seen people doing like £40, it shouldn't cost that much. It really shouldn't cost that much for a main deck card as well. That price should be for like extra deck cards. I should be seeing like Malicious's Banes at that prices and things like that. Even then, that shouldn't be the price. So yeah, my number 3 is a dusted gold because main deck protagonist cards shouldn't cost that much. Like imagine if freaking Dark Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon was like £40+.
Something tells me that we're gonna have a match on our list a little bit later on. Like I'm 99% sure that the cards we're both gonna say is gonna be exactly the same. But we'll get onto that in a minute. So for those of you that know what Dusted Gold is, it's a evil hero card that you discard it from your hand to the graveyard, and you get to add. What's the fusion called again? I should probably know this.
You can add any card that lists Dark Fusion in its text or Dark Fusion itself. So you can add Supreme King, Field Spell, Dark Fusion, and Dark Calling. It was one of the best cards just because it was the only thing that could search Dark Calling. It's like the best evil hero fusion spell.
Yeah, it is insanely good. Donald, what is your first card that you feel is desperate for a reprint?
So, as with all of these, I do it like from third to first. So, for the first one, it will be Card Advance. Now, I'm going to go with cards that generally have either been out for so long and have only had like one print. I won't be, so Card Advance was released in Battle Pack 3, and that was 2014, 6 years ago. And it's only had, common and Shadowfall rare, but it's from the same set. And unless you count Speed Duel print, then yes, as main game, we actually haven't had a reprint of this one card, which, like, admittedly, I'm the probably one to just tech it in like Light Swarm, but you could also probably tech in like Guardians to be able to just look at top 5, rearrange, and then you get additional tribute summon is just what some decks, if you need to know what the next 5 to that then that determine the outcome of whether you trigger something off or do something like that. It's just a card that just needs a reprint, as silly as it sounds.
You heard it here first. A card that needs a reprint is Advanced Draw.
Card Advance.
Card Advance, sorry. Yeah. Okay, I keep getting confused between the two.
Yeah.
So it's exactly like Donald said. It's just one of them cards that just hasn't had an up-to-date print, which is a little bit silly when you consider how old it is. So this is Card Advance on your screen right now. Look at up to 5 cards on top of your deck, then place them on top of the deck in any order. You can tribute summon one monster in addition to your normal summon or set this turn. So not only does it let you stack your deck legally, it then lets you get an additional normal. So imagine this in like Adamantium. Let me stack 5 rocks, get an additional normal, make Dragite, excavate 5 by somehow that are all rocks. Who would have thought?
But it's like, for example, a lot of times where like the game of Emancipator literally determines whether you successful with milling or revealing the rock or the Emancipator card, and it whiffs, and you to be able to have this sort of knowledge it can be quite crucial, admittedly. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a card that has been crying for a reprint for a long time. Okay, my first one is gonna be Darkest Diablos, purely because I know it's a structure deck. I get that, but it's just a splashable card in certain decks, and I think it's sitting at like £8 itself. Like you could buy the structure deck, and plus like everything apart from Diablos is then worth £2 to you. So happy days on that one. It's not like an old lineage card that's desperate for a reprint, but it's definitely something that I think should never... A structure deck card And I would have said the same for Soul Eating Oviraptor if Dinos didn't just get a reprint. Should be reprinted or just made a little bit more consistently. So I'm hoping it's a card we might see in the gold set, which would be really, really cool. Joe, what is your second card do you think is best?
So I think this is the one you might have on your list.
Okay, wait. Don't say it then. I'm gonna find the picture. Right, that's eBay. I've got too many windows open.
Oh, I like this game. I like this game.
I literally had the card. I had it in front of me. I was like, I guarantee you, both me and Joe are gonna have this on our list. I'll be surprised if Donald has it as well. It'll be kind of cool. So, without actually saying the name of the card, Joe, how many prints has this card had?
1.
Is it a fusion? This is like Guess Who? Is it
a
fusion card, Joe?
It is.
Is it from the GX era, Joe?
Yes.
Is it this card, Joe?
Once the stream brings it up.
I'm
I'm looking at stream.
Drum roll, please. This is where I forget to click the button to put it okay.
The whole stream is just paused and a big long drum roll.
Everyone's just waiting for it.
That is the one.
Yeah. Who would have thought this? A card that's had 101 chances to be reprinted
You could,
and still hasn't.
It's ridiculous how many times Konami could have just tossed this in a set and just have it done. It just needs one more print. At least that's something. And at least it's a newer set. It wouldn't be annoying, or nearly as annoying, if it wasn't one of the best fusion monsters that the Neos deck has. It's at least the second most viable fusion monster from the Neos archetype that you can base a deck around. Neos and Neos OTK has been a very popular play for the Neos deck. Just made more consistent thanks to Neos Fusion's existence. Even then, more thanks to Predaplant, Verite, and Conda. But it's just ridiculous. I remember trying to hunt my copy. I can't even remember how much I spent on my copy of Air Neos.
Probably not as much as it's worth right now.
Yeah, probably at least just a couple of quid less. But it's ridiculous. Just crazy. It's just become a meme.
Become a meme.
It's just
it has
slowly become a meme.
Someone even mentioned it in the chat. I'm trying to find it. We'll go. A Crocs Shadow. So they didn't reprint this in BLAR, but they reprinted Chaos Neos.
Yeah,
exactly that.
That frustrated me so much. And we just had a reprint of this.
So there's 3 sets this year that pop to mind where this card could have been in there, right? BLAR, Toon Chaos, and the Evil Hero, a Dusted Gold set. I don't know why they would put it in there, but I reckon
it's something. It's hero related. Done. Cool. That's your argument.
And they didn't. And the only rarities it has is an Ultra and an Ulti. So the Ultra is 50 quid. The Ulti is because it's got hero fandom to it. Plus the fact it's only had one print.
And it's Ulti. And they don't do Ultis really anymore, except for the tournament packs. So it's just now become a collector's binder thing. It's just ridiculous. Do you have anything? Might as well. Sorry, Donald. Do you have anything to add to that one, Del? Since I'm guessing this was your number 2 pick as well.
Was this on your list, Donald?
No, I actually mentioned this to Joe.
He reminded me. I was just okay, no, this is definitely going on my list.
Joe, I thought you would have had it engraved somewhere on your wall,
secret
Air Neos. When
it's on the roof of my room. It's just Air Neos picture with a crying face. My time will come.
So that was mine and Joe's second. Donald, what is your second?
So my second one is actually going to go to Forceful Century. As much as this is a banned card, I mainly want requiring it for reprint for the fact that it can then still be used in like for newer players who want to try like traditional formats, other formats, that sort of thing. And I personally would like to have a reprint of it so we can have an easier access to like these old banned cards, and that if like us except for war games would do like our fun formats where we do the one band trap, spell, and trap monster. These really old band cards can then be like easily accessible. I know, as odd as that sounds, but it's just like if like it's sort of having banned cards that haven't been printed in like 10 or plus years makes it really hard for the newer players to then access these cards and try out like other formats. So yeah.
See, with this, I completely agree with you. And like initially, the fallback would be
No one would buy.
Konami aren't going to print banned cards. Like, why would they do that? But then, I'm pretty sure it was last year they reprinted Delinquent Duo.
Yeah, yeah. It was in the Kyber set. Yeah,
because like what? Because apparently Kyber used it once or something.
Yeah, maybe like that. Yeah.
But he also used Pot of Greed, and I'm pretty sure he also used like Graceful Charity. Why the hell weren't they reprinted?
But yeah, it's like because I was looking at Forceful Century, and like its only prints were Dark Beginnings in 2004 and Spell Ruler 2004. So like, it would be nice to see something like how Delinquent Duo was reprinted to be then like used in Goat decks or in other formats. I mean, admittedly, yes, Forceful Century was probably still banned in 2005. But yeah, it's just having access to these banned cards is the point.
Was it viable in GOAT format?
No, I don't think so.
It wasn't, no. Because I was just going to say, because if it was, I'm surprised Konami. There's no way that they cannot know that GOAT format's one of the most popular formats in the game. And like, they could just easily make the GOAT format set and just reprint everything as like a super, and maybe put some as ultras, just to be that special set that like competitive players who do enjoy these GOAT formats can just then pick up and play. Like, it would make some money for sure. I'm sure people like already hollow out their GOAT decks, and then to just have like an updated text version, if you wanted to, of a GOAT format set, that'd be great. That could easily sell.
Yeah, I mean that's the one interesting thing though, because if you actually again to try and like max rarity out your GOAT, like to get foil metamorphosis, they're like £100 plus each. It's like crazy. Okie dokie then. Joe, what is your last card that you think is desperate for a reprint?
Super biased, but I'm going to put a slash on this one. So the main target for my number one is Go DDD Zero King Reiji. But for everybody...
That sounds like a cheat to me.
It is. But it's a manga promo, and that's my extra section, is that manga promos in general. Zero King Reiji is my main target and my main focal point, just because it's something that I really want to play. It completely changes how the DD deck is played and can be constructed, because you can just do things like fourth summon this, tribute a monster, make it so your opponent can't activate any cards from hand and graveyard for the entire turn, and then just completely go off with your plays, practically unattended. So it completely changes the deck, how it plays, and it's annoying, still frustrates me that only America and Canada, as one person in a comment section reminded me, very frustrating me. It's just like, oh great, I live in Canada, I can play this. I'm like, great, thank you. But yeah, but barring Reggie aside, manga promos in general, I still don't understand why no one else can play them. Everybody has access to Amazon. Like, You cannot say otherwise. Pretty much everybody has access to Amazon in one way or another. Amazon has access to all mangas in one way
there
or
are other
another.
online purchase stores available. Okay.
So, like, pretty much everybody can play manga promos because everyone can get the mangas. The only thing I can understand is V-Jumps, because that is a subscription you can only access in America and American-based countries. But mangas promos, I don't understand why we can't play them. And the fact that we have to then wait for Konami to think, okay, we'll reprint it now, for us to play it, it frustrates me. And then not only do we have to wait for that, we then have to hope that that particular manga promo is selected to be reprinted at that time. So it really annoys me. So my number one is Zero King Reiji in particular, for me personally. But in a general aspect, manga promos in general should be reprinted now. Like, just make a set, the manga promo set, and just put all of them in there and be done with it. I don't even mind if you reprint ones that already been reprinted in that set, just to make it the manga set in general. Just do it. Just simple do it.
I don't know what else to say about that, really. Is what it is.
It is. It's just manga promos. I want to play these pieces of cardboard I have in my hand. They came in a book and I can't play it. I get punished for reading.
Right? I understand your frustration, because America and Canada got to play Summon Sorceress for so much longer than we did.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they got to play Summon Source for like a month and a half.
We had an
2 months.
entirely different format because we couldn't use Summon Sorcerers because it was in the manga promo. And then not only that, for like just a lower point of view, like for you personally, the Dark Magician girl we train, you know, when you discard from
Apprentice Illusion.
Apprentice Illusion. I believe she was a manga promo as well, or something like that.
She was a jump promo.
Was she a jump promo?
And,
okay.
Yeah, and in America, I think when she first came out, they were like $100.
It's ridiculous.
And I went and bought a playset. Not at $100 each, but I went and bought a playset, and then
I remember that.
I think literally like 3 weeks after I bought it, they announced she was getting printed in the legendary decks, and I was like, okay.
Let's put her in though. I have to say that's really good, but it just annoys me, and like it was less frustrating beforehand because I knew we had the special edition. We had special editions, and we pretty much had a high chance of getting at least 2 promos in that special edition. So at least shortened the time, or at least gave us a glimmering of hope. But since we don't have special editions anymore, what set can we hope to get these promos in on a regular basis or somewhat regular basis anymore? Like,
there'll just be more imports.
Doesn't exist, sadly. And I don't see them putting manga promos or promos in general in the mainline sets, because that is mostly for OCG stuff that we don't have yet. Yeah, my number one's a long topic.
All in all, Joe does not like the fact he can't play.
I can't play my stuff, and I'm getting again punished for reading books.
You like to read, huh?
I want to read, and I can't read. Like, use the things that rewards me for reading.
Okay, Donald. Let's hope that your last choice is not that you're being punished because you're reading.
My last choice is going to be Bingo Machine Go. Yes. Like, we are expecting it to be like a Legendary Duelist Season 2, to have it a print, and so I really do hope they do print it, because it is like a well, first off, it can be used as a character card, but the fact that it's mainly to support Blue Eyes is like, and it's like £20, I think 20 to 25, I think it was. But either way, and because there's so, I would say little in terms of supply of it. Yes, this little supply of the card makes it just make the price either just going to fluctuate even higher, or because if, let's say, Konami didn't decide to go and reprint it, which would be, I would say, silly and stupid, to not put in the Legendary Duelist Season 2 set, and all the original prints are just going to skyrocket to no time at all. So yes, Bingo Machine Go. We need another reprint, please.
Yeah, I think like just outright, you look at the Legendary Collection stuff. I'm gonna have a quick look. Actually, when did Legendary?
But I just have to say, I love Thomas's comment. Just move to Canada.
One was 2018 on September. I'm looking at it. Right.
No. So that means, when was Joey's then? So because Joey and Pegasus would have been before that.
Yeah.
It's called Legendary Duelist.
I can. That's so Joey.
4.
So Pegasus one was 2018 February, and Joey's. No, sorry, yeah, Pegasus, yes, 2018. Joey's was September 2017. So
we had to wait 3 years for a Red Eyes Baby Dragon reprint. We had to wait 2.5 years for an Ancient Gear Fusion reprint. So you would expect that on that ratio, it wouldn't be until January, or it wouldn't be till 2022 that we would get a Magician Souls reprint.
Oh God!
Don't remind me.
I'm just doing the maths. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like, look at like the Pegasus set. What was Crystal Bonds ever reprinted?
Yeah,
all of them. They were all reprinted. I literally bought another placer, Bonds, and Rainbow Bridge, just so I can possibly take it in Sacred Beasts.
The collection reprinted everything. I don't think there was anything in the collection that didn't get reprinted, apart from a foil version of Red MD. But yeah, I think that's quite amazing.
Wait for the next one.
When was so Legendary Collection? If we look back at this, right, a Legendary Collection 1.
To be fair, the fact that they've named it Legendary Collection Season 1 pretty much confirms they're going to get Season 2, like, at some point. And hopefully it won't be too long.
Season 2 would be Kaiba and Bakura.
So far. And then
Season 3 would be Yugi and Marek.
Unless they just put everything. No, because...
Season 2 would be Kaiba and Mai.
Yeah.
Sister of the Roses one.
Oh, yeah.
And then it would be Bakura and Yugi.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. It'd be all dark.
Yeah.
But that still means that you're going to be looking at, like, mid-2021 to get a reprint of Bingo Machine.
If they don't slot them somewhere else.
Exactly. And then you'll be looking at 2022 for Souls, Liquid, and the Dark Magicians and stuff like that.
It makes you think why, because you know that they reprinted in the Megatins, they put the side set in that gives the Infinity tracks and stuff.
Yeah.
It makes you think that why didn't they just put the Kaiba stuff and the Yugi stuff in there as well? If they were gonna toss in a non-mainline set, why didn't they go with the one that's themed around?
Because they did it the year before. So the year before they did the Sky Striker one.
Oh yeah.
So it seems to be their new thing.
Yeah.
So this year will be Infinity Chasers. Then next year will be Mystic Fighters. So it'll be Mathmex, Generators, and Dragon Maid.
So how long do we have to wait to get Dragon Maid reprints?
When did the tins come out? 23rd of August 2020. So
we might get
23rd
season
of August
3 of Mr.
2021.
Kobayashi's Dragon Maid before we get Dragon Maid reprint.
More likely, yeah, probably.
Yay!
Season 2.
Okay. My last one is every single one of the Fluffle fusions. No. So the main one is Fright Fur Kraken. I mean, come on, guys.
We had to reprint.
Fluffle and Fright Fur players had to wait like an additional decade to get. Fist of the Gadgets came after Mystic Fighters. They had to wait a decade to get Patchwork, and then when we did get Patchwork, we were in Master Rule 4, so it was bloody pointless. And now they're like, oh, cool. Here, you can have a couple of new cards, which are really good for the deck, by the way. I love Dolphin.
They're all amazing. Scythe's my favourite.
Scythe, that's it. Scythe and Whale are insane. Like, I love Whale. Whale was so, like... Shane did the combo on me where he used Scythe to protect Whale from its own effect. I was like, oh, cool. So it's just a free pop. And
have you seen the 2-card combo
attack,
where you can not only protect your Whale to get a pop, but that free pop is on an artifact Scythe that you set with the Link monster. And you're like, cool. I locked you out your extra, got 2200 monster just summoned for essentially free, and I still kept my 2900 boss monster, which then next turn will kill you.
I miss Link Vrains packs, and I'm hoping. Well, it's stopped now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would like to see Link Vrains 4-pack because I think that was really good to kind of give like a set. Like the last one, Link's Praise 3 was so pointless because it was like, hey, you can have Reptilian.
A Reptilian and Alien.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah, we got an Alien.
Didn't want to give me a Tellarknight or a Fluffle or something a bit more generic or better.
Just
like something playable.
Why
not give me a Gradle one while we're at it?
We'll give you 2 links for Reptile decks that no one plays.
Yeah, it's a shame because if they were actually broken for the deck, then fine, but they weren't.
The Alien one's really good. The Reptile one's got some gimmicks, but like the Alien one's phenomenal.
To get to the Alien link.
Yeah. Well, just resolve one rescue rabbit.
Oh yeah, you do that.
Anyway, Fright Fur Kraken is my shout to get reprinted because if you actually look at it as well, Fusion Enforcers had Kraken, like loads of Fright Fur stuff. Yeah, it does. Cross sheet does look like Fluffle, I agree. And Kraken is so important for the deck as well that it should really have been reprinted alongside. Like, it should have been in Toon Chaos. I think all of the hero reprints in Toon Chaos make no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, no.
Like, they could have been Fright Fur stuff. Like, you gave stuff to Fluffles. So I don't know why you just went, oh no, we've got 10 more spaces.
We'll reprint every mask
Should we give it to Chaos? It was like, no, let's just give it to Heroes. It's like, rather you did it.
Fusion Forces is slowly becoming one of the most important sets in the game. If you really think about it.
What else did it have? It had Invoked and it had
Invoked, Invoked Fluffles. It had Chimera Fleecia, who's very techable.
Oh,
like, and the only thing that's not that greatly important, but even then it's still greatly important, is the Destiny Hero support, because Destiny Hero Celestial got put in that set. It's like, set's really good.
Yeah, the Acid reprint was needed, but I mean, like, the other reprints were like, no, you didn't.
I didn't need a reprint of Master Hero Vapor when you reprint Acid, which the only reason you play Vapor is when you don't have an access to Acid.
Oh, Joe, I tell you what they could have put in there that would have been really, really good. Aeneos.
Let's give the slots to 10 hero cards. Cool. Is Aeneas going to be one of them? Nah.
No.
Why would we do that?
It's like, thanks, Konami. Anyway, that was our top 3 section. So these are the top 3 cards we think need reprints. Everyone watching at home, if you want to send in your top 3s or just ones, I'm going to go back on the chat and try and find what I got. Obviously, we've got a couple of people that have shouted Aeneos. You know, we agree. So Thomas Patterson said Aeneos. Agree with that one.
Good man. He knows.
A reprint of the trap which negates a spell unless your opponent discards one. Oh, Chris plays this now. It's a counter trap. What's it bloody called? There you go.
What's it called?
It's such a good.
Magic Drain. It's
Oh yeah, I was thinking about it when I saw the comment. It's like,
Chris is playing it. I was like, "Are you mad?" Like he played it against Ben yesterday, and Ben was playing Dinos, and it's like, "Yeah, you have to He played Extravagance, and he's like, "Oh, you have to discard a spell," and he went, "Okay, discard Extravagance."
I was just thinking that. Please,
I
I mean,
will draw
discarded
6.
another copy. This extravagance will make sure my first one goes.
Thomas Patterson also says bingo as well.
Bingo.
This
It's ridiculous. It's
Any
annoying
else?
'cause I really don't like the look and the name of Bingo Machine Go Go. It just does not sound Kyber at all. Like, can you really
It
picture
doesn't sound
Kyber's
Kyber.
voice
I quite
after
like the
saying
artwork.
that?
The artwork's funny.
I mean, I like the artwork, like the reference, but can you imagine Seto Kaiba saying against Yugi in his serious, dramatic voice, "Oh, I activate Bingo Machine Go Go"? It's like, nah.
Yeah, but then it starts turning into Pokemon. Can you imagine if Kyber goes that, and then Renji or DDD guy goes, "Oh, I'm going to summon my Go, Renji, go!" Like,
Yeah, it's true.
a little bit Pokemon-like. Renji, I choose you. Boom.
Got me there. Got me there.
A lot of their Neos. No surprise on that one.
Yeah.
I can't believe Acid was like £27.
Yeah,
for a
when I
copy
saw
of
that, I was like, what? I can't remember.
We had them like 10 quid, so I was like, yeah, that's about a standard price for it.
Magician's Souls.
Yeah, Magician's Souls. I know a lot of people want that. I know a lot of people also want Infinite Impermanence to get another reprint, but until it gets the Ash treatment of being a structure deck card, I can't see that happening. Can you imagine if they put Infinite Impermanence in... I mean, it's already been announced, but can you imagine if they put it in the Charmer deck? Like, how much hype that deck would get?
That would be insane. Like, the Charmer deck in the OCG is, like, just crazy. Like, it's got Dark Ruder No More. And, like, I swear it's got, like, 2 other crazy cards that everyone was just like, that's going to get shifted for Compulse, Sakuretsu Armor, and Dark Hole.
Can you imagine if they released a structure deck that was just a GOAT structure deck with everything reprinted in it?
That'd be good. Make 2 variants. I'd buy that.
I think quite a lot of people actually would.
Like, you could have
Yeah, Evilly's in the Charmer deck, which is quite funny. Oh my... What? Ash Blossom is $10.
No,
It's not even that great, this format. It's got, what, a Secret Super Ultra Common. It's missing a Rare. It's probably going to be a Starlight in the next set. So who? That's crazy.
Can't be taken.
OCG structure decks are always better than ours. Like, their reprints are the
100%.
absolute nuts.
Like,
And then it's like,
the only
ooh.
thing they're keeping in now is like that one hand trap that gets put in there. And I was like, okay, cool, we'll keep that in there. Everything else will swap for just rubbish.
Right, before we end this segment, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget that we do have our first giveaway going on. All you need to do is put the answer in the live chat right now, or if you are listening along at home, put it in a comment to us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You must follow us on our either Podomatic, Spotify, or iTunes, and you must be subscribed to the YouTube
We
channel.
ain't going to give these to some rando that just shows up for one episode.
Yeah, got to show commitment.
It's not fair.
So the question is, from the original anime, Season 1, how many Blue Eyes are in existence? Very, very easy. Very, very easy. Right, okay. That is it for our top 3 segment. We are now about to move on to our battle phase, the most important segment. What's the question? I just said.
I just said it. How many Blue Eyes White Dragons are in existence in the original anime?
Can you imagine if it was just, how many Blue Eyes are in existence in the card game today?
Yes, please tell me. I need to know. You need to tell me this.
do we count the stone?
Hey,
Cap?
bonus
All
points if you-
artworks count.
bonus points if you can go and find out that exact answer. Don't do that. That's a joke. Like, there must be millions. Okay, let's move on to our main phase segment. And this time we are going to be talking about Infernoble Knight. Boom. Infernoble Knights are a brand new art type that were a structure deck in the TCG, in the OCG. But the TCG thought that they would split them up. They would put the structure deck cards in Toon Chaos, which then made Renard a £40 card, which is their main card. Sad days. And then they actually got fully competitive cards or playable cards to make the deck complete in Rise of the Duelist, and the deck is insanely good. It utilizes the Halley Firebrax combo, and it also utilizes a very, very old card that should probably have been on our lists, but I reckon it's going to get banned, and that is Smoke Grenade of the Thief.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't want it.
So what we're going to do in this segment is we're going to have a bit of a meta discussion. We're going to talk about the deck, its strengths, its weaknesses, what it does, what cards it utilizes, and then we're going to talk about a very, very important question as to what the future of this deck will be post a possible ban list, which might hit Smoke Grenade and might also hit Halley Firebrax. So it'll be very interesting to see where it goes from there. So I am just going to load up an image for you guys at home. For those listening along, do not worry. I will be reading out every single image that will be up on the screen for you guys as well. So you will not be missing out anything. It's just literally going to be able to help me articulate and show the Infernoble Knight cards themselves. So let me just bring this to the forefront.
Apparently smoke grenades are $20
Yeah,
now.
20 quid common.
Just
20
what?
quid common.
Did I not say?
So
Rockets are playing it as well though, so what can you
this
expect?
is so stupid.
They're side decking it.
Infernoble Knight cards. The four cards you see in front of you are Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles, Infernoble Knight Oliver, Infernoble Knight Renard, and Infernoble Knight Yugioh. Now, of course, they do have other cards as well, which I will show you as we go through them. Charles is the brand new boss synchro, and it is based on the Noble Knight lore, but rather than going into XYZ, lockout, stun, and play, they now go into some incredibly powerful synchros. They start off with a card like Oliver or a card like Yugioh as well to get the combos going, and there are a multitude of versions of combos that either end on hand loop, double omni negates with a single disruption during your opponent's turn, alongside everlasting special summoning from hand with Fire Warrior monsters. Charles is a level 9 synchro that requires one tuner, one or more non-tuners. If a monster on the field becomes equipped with equipped card, even during the damage step, you can destroy one card on the field. During the end phase, you can equip one equipped spell from your hand or graveyard to this card. Then you can equip one Fire Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. From your deck to this card as an equipped spell, and it gains 500 attack. Now, all of the other Infernoble Knights do, or not all of them, but a good majority of them do also provide a heavy amount of protection. Oliver, the card that it is equipped to cannot be targeted. Yugioh, the card it is equipped to cannot be destroyed by card effect. And there is another one that some people play, some people don't, that allows the card it is equipped to not be destroyed by battle.
Morgus.
Yugioh is the normal summon monster that is a Foolish Burial. It sends a Fire Warrior from your deck to the graveyard. So that will send you your Immortal Fired Gearfried, which is your one card to stop you being Nibirued, which is one of the deck's biggest weaknesses. It then contributes with a 2-card combo with Renard itself in order to climb the entire board, ending the board on a Gearfried, plus an Infernal Noble Knight Emperor Charles, plus the possibility of ripping 2 cards out of your opponent's hand and having full hand knowledge, alongside a Borreload Savage Dragon on top of that. Oliver is a level 4 tuner, and basically can special summon himself from the hand by sending a Fire Warrior from the field or hand to the graveyard, and it does become a level 1. Renard, of course, can special summon itself if you control another Fire Warrior monster, and it does become a level 1 tuner. So you can see the synergy and where this goes. Now let's show you the other cards that are contributing towards the deck as well. So we're going to show you the Gearfried. There you go. There's your Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. You can banish one equipped spell from your field or graveyard, special summon this card from the hand. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can equip one face-up monster on the field to this card, maximum 1, as an equipped spell that gives this card 500 attack. So he can then become a base 3500. He doesn't target the monster, he just steals it outright. When a monster effect is activated, quick effect, you send one face-up equipped card you control to the graveyard, negate the activation, if you do, destroy it. So it doesn't even need to send the one that is equipped to himself. How mad is that? You've then got Isolde. We all know what Isolde does. She has been around long enough. And then we've got Infernoble Knight, Vanguard, Roland. Roland is what triggers during the main phase as a quick effect. It can equip itself to a monster and give it 500 attacks. You can actually make your Gearfried a 4k beta or your Charles a 4k beta as well. And on top of that, you're getting Eternal Hand Knowledge and just pure rip away. You are not going to be able to lose it once this goes off. Now, the biggest weakness of this deck is that if it does not get to its Gearfried, it will run headfirst into a Nibiru. It does play the standard Halifire-Brax Auroradon combo that you see in pretty much every deck right now, so it is teetering on the edge of a ban list. It is quite susceptible to hand traps, but it does have a lot of extension and playability through certain hand traps. One of the biggest threats to this deck is something like a Ghost Ogre, because if it does utilize the Knight card, let me just find that for you as well, and I'll put that on the screen. There we go. If it does utilize Sublime Knight, it basically is unaffected by Ash Blossom. It can be impermed, but if you have another fire in the hand that can extend, you'll be good to go. But if you don't, and it gets Ghost Ogred, or if you get Ghost Ogred in general, it will start to fall apart. The brand new equip spell is the Flame Noble Arms Duradol. This is an equip spell that can be equipped to any monster, and then it can be sent from the field to the graveyard to add a level 5 or lower fire warrior. That is when you then have the extensions to get into your Oliver, to get into your Renard, and to get into your Ogier as well. It gives a lot of consistency to the deck. It can be ashed, but then you're going to be wasting an Ash on this, which then means if they wanted to, they could play the Neospatian, which could rip another card from your hand, putting you down to 3 cards already, and they haven't even touched the Smoke Grenade. So as I've said multiple times, the powers of this deck is the ability to get full hand knowledge, take away any cards that are going to threaten the board or clear the board off during your opponent's next turn, alongside a negate, a monster negate coming off of Gearfried, and Omni Negate coming off the back of Borreload Savage Dragon, and of course a interruption, non-target destruction of Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles as well. I think I've pretty much
We have
covered.
now told the entire plot of Infernobles. Tune in next week.
Tune in next week where we will find out what happens on Dragon Ball Z. Right, so this is a brand new art type, and very few have probably faced this, but Joe and Donald both follow the OCG. They know that it has become a very powerhouse over there as well, and I believe it did actually win the first big event that China held as well, which is very, very important. So let's start with Donald and then Joe. What are your thoughts towards Infernoble Knights?
So with Infernoble Knights, yes, to be fair, it's a very, very good combo deck to be playing, especially in this relevant to today's meta. I get very annoyed with it because I'm on the receiving end of being hand looped and then being told to just like, okay, draw and just go GG. But that's besides the point. So as a deck, it's like from what I've heard from like Dale and I think we had Tom. We were hoping to have Tom, but he couldn't make it. But he also plays it, and he mentioned the fact how like the entire deck is like extenders, and I'm thinking, what do you just like have the one monster and then everything else just builds on top of it? Is that how it works, Dale? Well, like.
So it has that ability to do that, and if Halifarax was to get banned, that's probably how it would go. So like with the old original Noble Knights, where it literally was XYZ and then loads of equipped spells, this one is actually the other way around. It's synchro, and then use your monsters from the graveyard as your equipped spells.
Yeah, so because I think I also had one other guy in the pit. I can't remember. It's not Aaron, is it?
Alan.
Alan, there we go. Alan played it, the non-hand loop, and I was able to see like it was pretty consistent to just get out the synchro, the plays, and the combos. But yes, like in today's meta, it can be very easily stopped, or it can just be easily interrupted, which kind of, to me, like feels the deck at least has some value to not just go degenerate, to go like you just can't play the game. And it does have a means to play if high five rats combo was to just get like banned or just completely moved out of the game. So I do find that it does provide a lot of, as you said, the protection values is just really good, and the interruption is there. But yeah, to me, it's a nice deck, but has to play degenerately to then effectively combat today's meta until things get solved. So yeah, that's my view on that.
Yeah, so just to quickly touch him before Joe jumps on as well, there's a lot of people that are playing it as like a 60 card variant. And the 60 card variant here involves ignites. And obviously they are just, you put 2 scouts in there, you pop them, you get a fire warrior. So that gives you quicker access to your gear feed. It also gives you quicker access to pretty much any of your fire monsters. So it's another nice searchable engine, or search engine in a sense, because the deck itself only really needs 1 card to get going, and that's the Sublation Knight, or of course the Neospatian, the Connector. But Connector is more viable because Connector, if it gets hit with an Imperm or an Ash, it falls apart because it's not a fire. Whereas if Sublation can't be ashed, if it gets Ogred, that's it. That's the worst thing that can happen. If it gets Impermed and you've got a fire to extend from, you can still go into Isolde. Isolde then leads into to Linkross, into Halley Firebrax, into Auroradon. And then eventually, before you know it, you've got a Charles and a Savage Dragon. So.
Oh.
So, Joe, what are your initial thoughts or your general thoughts on the Infernoble Knights?
I like them. I think they're really good. I personally haven't placed them myself. I've seen dual videos utilizing them, and just like even smaller techs utilizing them as well. I personally use all the Fire Warrior support in my Red Eyes deck, though I did pick up all of the stuff for the Infernobles, because I'm thinking of essentially building the Infernoble deck, but instead of going with the High Five Racks Smoke Grenade kind of like play, I like utilize the Infernobles to build up their own board and then end on like a Predaplant and then make a Slash Dragon afterwards, just for like my spicy tech in the deck essentially. Trying to make it like as Jerry as themed as possible as well. Just like have that warrior deck, and then you just have that one Red Eyes Black Dragon in there because he's the symbol of your deck, kind of like thing. But I really like him. I like how you can play the old Noble Knight style. Like, these new cards haven't pushed aside the old style of play. That's probably the only thing I haven't seen anyone do with them yet, and I'd actually really like to see someone do that. Whereas take the old Protect the Tower Xyz monster kind of like style, and just try and see if these new Infernobles can build up upon that and just make that more consistent. Like, I think that could be...
like add them with the XYZs, or
yeah, with the XYZs. So like use all the new synchro support. Mate, if you do end on synchro as well, cool. That's just like the bonus. But use all these new synchro Infernobles to make the XYZ build, and see if that just makes it quicker and make it more consistent. I think that could be really interesting. And that's what I like about them. Like, the fact that they haven't tossed away all the old Noble Knight stuff. Like, they haven't said, we're the new Noble Knights, you're nothing. This is like, we're building upon you but going a different direction. Like, if you know what I mean. But we can still help you guys do something. Like, I think that's really interesting about them. I really like them. The Aurochs are amazing. I mean, who doesn't like burning things? And Infernovas are just all about that. I think the equips look stunning as well. I think they're some of the best equip artworks I've seen. I think my favorite one definitely has to be the one where it's just diagonal on the pedestal, the one that's used like as a free op in the deck. Durandal, that's it. It's really good. I really like them. They got versatility, and I think if Christian does get hit and a smoke grenade does get hit, it's not going to kill the deck. It's just going to evolve, do something different, change how it does. The fact that they're just all free summons, as long as you have a Fire Warrior on field, just means that it can always thrive. Whenever they bring out new Fire Warrior, I mean, just look at the Flint Lady.
Such a good card.
It's an amazing card. I love it. I got like 2 play sets because I thought I'm going to take maybe it in Heroes and then just Goki's, get a good buff from it. It's great. Goki's awesome. Yeah, it's really good. There's nothing more to say. That's not just repeating myself. Essentially, it's a really good deck, and I like it.
Yeah, I think you kind of touched on it there. Like, one of my biggest concerns is, and I haven't looked into it in enough detail, but like right now, they're very consistent and they're very powerful, and there's a very, very clear route of how you get to Charles and how you do the, like, at least rip some of the cards apart from the hand. But if they were to lose Hallie Firebrax, I don't know how easy it is for them to produce a meta contending board. Like, right now, they have the ability, if set at the right time, to play through certain hand traps. So my fear is that the second that changes, if the hand traps stay the same, how do they then go? How do they then evolve?
Can they make Charles naturally without needle fiber? Like, how easy is it to make it? Because I look at his levels and I look at how the Infernobles work. Like, surely it's difficult. Like, they can make the level 5 easy, but then how do they go up to level 8? Like,
yeah, so I mean,
like, without needle fiber and Auroradon, granting you those extra levels, and Link Cross as well.
There's a couple of ways of doing it, but it's very, very specific. So, like, they can naturally make their level 5, which is a tuner.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of times where I've actually seen people make Trish in the deck as well, which is crazy. But
more ripping.
Yeah, exactly. But literally, like, the way they need to work it is they need to get to their level 5 Roland, who is a tuner, and then they need to have Ogier or whatever go on the board, because then that's the level 4. So that's your instant Charles there. But so the way it need to work is you need to play like Sublation Knight.
I thought he was level 8. Is he level 9?
He's level 9. That's why he's a little bit more difficult. He's not even like normal. So you'd have to go like, the combo just to get to Charles would be like Sublation Knight, summon Squeak Knight, special summon Roland from Renard from hand, sync all of those together for the level 5, and then you still need to get the Ogier to board. It's like the other option is you'd have to go Sublation,
like
Squeak.
4 cards in your hand. If you just
you would need to play so much. It wouldn't be as consistent or as easy to do. Like, you'd literally do that, make a Zold. A Zold would then have to send 4 to bring down Ogier. Ogier would then have to send like Gearfried. You'd then have to special summon Renard, to bring the Gearfried back to the hand. And even then, you still need to... That makes your level 5 synchro. You still need to get another level 4 on board. So you'd have to use Renard to bring back a continuous spell that can revive from the grave just to make Charles. So you're going so far out of your way just to do it. So the chances are, the way they'll probably adapt is they'll probably just go, okay, cool, we'll make Dragoons and then we'll play with everything else. Because like, everything's just going to be
end on Dragoons, and then disrupt the Dragoons and then do everything else. Build up your hand again, just do everything else turn 2.
Yeah, not even that. I mean, like, you'd probably just quiet through, then just finish on a Verte to go into the Dragoons. But I think that's just pretty much what every deck's going to do when that comes out.
If just Needle gets hit, everyone's just going to go Dragoons. Like, Verte is just going to be the new Needle in the extra deck. It's just simple.
Needle just makes it so much easier to do. It's absolutely crazy. Like, just imagine the board. Like, if you can get 2 more, it's quite difficult. But like, I mean, like, look at Adamantipays. Adamantipays can continually flood the board with monsters. So all they then do is that they can naturally get into a savage. They can naturally get into like a herald without having to go through a Rhorodon. So then just imagine them going from that into Vert Anaconda. So their board is in like herald, savage, Dragite, and then Dragoons. It's like, what the hell? Like, how are you even supposed to play through that? Like, Dark Ruler no more, cool.
Sphere mode.
Yeah, I mean,
which to be fair,
Dragoons
a lot of people are now using Sphere mode again in the side decks.
We'll talk about Dragoons in the next segment, because that's when we're going to review the Megatins.
Where all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, but I've still got this reserve feeling that I don't think it's as unbreakable as a lot of people think.
No.
So we'll go over its weaknesses in a minute.
We'll do that in the next segment. But
okay, everyone seems to be talking about Halley Firebrax is basically Electromite for Synchros.
And I saw one person foolishly say that Agrapane's alright. No.
Agrapane was never alright.
Agrapane's not okay.
I mean, like, when you put Agrapane on the level of, like, Electromite and Halley Firebrax, the only thing that made... So, like, Agrapane was better because it brought out an extra deck monster, but it was weaker because it needed so much more of a setup than the other ones, and the other ones were just like, cool, boom, done. Okay, that was it for our deck discussion of Infernobonites. We kind of went off on a bit of a tangent towards the end of that as well. But basically, Infernobonites are a deck to look out for. I think all their new stuff is really, really cheap. The only issue is the Renald, but Toon Chaos is getting a reprint, or has. I think I've started seeing unlimited editions in America shops. So that'll be really cool for them to start getting the reprints.
I think it's good. Just one little quick thing. I think for the Infernobles, it was really good that they made them the lower rarity deck. Like,
yeah, I agree. I think that even the Charles and the Duradar I thought would be expensive. They weren't. They were like £4 each. So I was like, yeah, cool, I'll take those. And I just think that the Renard was stupid. Like, when it first came out, it was like £10. And then it went up to 40, and then it dropped down to 15. And then when everyone found out that everything was lower rarity, it went back up to like £40, which is just damn right madness. Agapane was not the problem card. To be fair, Agapane, Pixie, and LP are like a problem card. Like they're like the problem children. They're so
gave
bad
you
together.
a negate for free.
Oh man, it's crazy. Anyway, I seem to have jumped ahead, but we're about to jump into our
next discussion.
Our review of Megatins. So, Megatins 2020. A lot of people, we revealed the list to you guys a couple of days ago or yesterday. A good number of you actually saw sense and was like, this is actually really good. Like, the reprints are a such high level of value. It was a disappointment that there wasn't as many promos. But then there's a couple of you that were like, why wasn't this reprinted? Why wasn't this reprinted? And this is terrible. It's like, expectations, people. Come on. So, the 2020 Megatins are released 1 week from Thursday. They will retail, or they should retail, I will say this, at £19 in the UK to £20-ish. And I believe that is $25 in America. You get 3 mega packs, no promos this time. However, you do get 2 supers, 2 ultras, and 1 prismatic secret per pack. It has already been revealed that Red Eyes of Dragoon is an ultra, and what I am hoping for, and this is not confirmed as yet, is that one of the 2 ultras in every single pack will be one of the preview cards. So either Dragoon's Successor, Advent, I think it's Advent, or the Trap card, and the other spell card that were revealed for Dark Magician. That will then make Dragoons a lot easier. Now, pre-order price of Dragoons is like $70 at the moment, which is absolutely bonkers. And And that would definitely crash if it is one of the 4 promos. But I still think it's going to be difficult to get, which I fully understand. Now, the reprints, of course, include Appaloosa, Borrowed Savage Dragon, IP Masquerena, Pot of Extravagance. Very, very good reprints. Avramax, Phantasme, Signet Mining. So a lot of cards that, we did get in Dual Overload, but were also quite difficult to still get. And they're only like 10 quid cards, which now means they're going to be like £5 cards for what I think is safe investments, because if a new Cyverse deck comes out, then Signet Mining is going to rock it up. If a new Link Heavy deck comes out, then of course Phantasme is going to come out. And one thing you've got to remember as well is to get into Dragoons, you need to use the Anaconda. You need to link summon. So you can bring that onto the board. You bring Phantasme onto the board. You can then draw into your outs or give you a bit more consistency to fix your hand to get into a Dragoon out. Now, of course, Dragoon will have the ability on the field to get rid of it if they want to. But it still provides you with a fixed your hand that then can lead you into your outs, like your Kaijus, your Rasphere modes, your Lava Golems, your Super Polys, Dark Ruler No Mores, anything that doesn't target your Forbidden Droplets, Tactical Talents, anything like that really gets rid of Dragoons. And I know a couple of the last ones were really expensive cards, but it's not as indestructible as a lot of people think. Now, before we get Donald and Joe's thoughts on this one, we are going to go on to question number 2 of our second giveaway. And the second giveaway is for one of these right here. So the winner will choose which one they want. So the winner can either have a Mechanized Structure Deck, a Rocket Revolt Structure Deck, or a Sacred Beast Structure Deck. Any single one you want. Again, the winners will be revealed at the end of this podcast, and I will ship these out to you directly as well. So, the question, a little bit harder than the last one. What deck won Worlds in 2016? Very, very easy question if you do your research. So that question again is, what deck won Worlds in 2016? Right, Megatins. Every year when Megatins come around, we do see this as being like one of the highlights of the year, because it can be one of the best products that provides with loads of reprints. And I think what Konami did last year when they did introduce the rarity changes was really good. I liked that. I thought that was a really nice addition. Now, obviously, the promos did help out massively, because there was Dark Ruler No More, there was Nibiru, and then you had the Takahashi Arts as well. So it was a very, very nice reprint session. It was a very, very nice kind of tin in general. Now, outside of the promos, I personally think that this tin is better than last year's tin. Because if you look at like the core cards that were reprinted in last year's tin, 2 that stand out to me were Boral Sword and Nightmare Unicorn. Now, Boral Sword had just got a reprint. It had just been reprinted in BLAR or whatever it was called. Whereas this one, straight away, you've had Appaloosa, Borrowed Savage Dragon, which could possibly be a Prismatic Secret, plus an IP Masquerena. Pot of Extravagance, which a lot of people didn't think would actually be in it, is in it. So I think there's so much in this tin that you can get. And I was saying this the other day to a couple of people, that the way I see this, if Konami do confirm that one out of the 2 Ultras will be one of the preview cards, that means that out of every tin, you've got a 3 in 4 chance of pulling a Dragoon. Now, pre-order prices, if that is confirmed, the pre-order price of Dragoons will drop down to probably about 20 quid. So, what I'm trying to say here is, like, each tin at the moment, Savage Dragons were 30 quid, or 30 quid for an Ultra. They're probably going to be a £15 card. IP Masquerena was a £25 to £30 card. That's probably going to be a £15 card. Yes, not to mention all the Evil Eyes, Witchcrafters, 10 Years, Infinite Tracks, all of those that had high value print as well. No, so the original tins before last year was just normal reprints. So you'd literally get, if it was a secret, it was going to be a secret. This one, the way they did last year's was everything that was a secret was bumped down to an ultra. Everything that was an ultra was bumped up to a secret. So yeah, so then basically with these tins, you've got so many reprints that the way it's going to work, and so many high level reprints, that unless you get a really unlucky kind of tin, if you pull a pot of extravagance, an ultra rare is going for 40 quid right now. So they're going to drop down to 20 quid as well. If you're buying a tin for like 20 odd quid or $25, if you pull a Dragoons, all of the other cards you pull are profit and plus.
Yeah, from what
If you
I've
pull
seen,
Savage,
Dragoons is
profit
pre-selling at like $70 at the moment.
Yeah, it's
Just
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Like, I think if anyone pays 70 for a Dragoons, is out of their mind.
Mad.
Absolutely out of their mind. So, yeah, I mean, that's my personal feelings of it right now, that I actually think this tin is possibly the best set. Now, the gold could do something a little bit different. I don't know what they would do. They've already got the Appaloosa as an alternate art, which is kind of cool. The only thing that the golden set can do that the tins can't do is the golden set can have any reprint. So they could reprint Souls. They could reprint Bingo if they wanted to. I'm not saying they are, but they could.
Prize cards.
You only want prize card. The only prize card we're missing that you want is the number card, alright? That will probably be in there. I'll be amazed if it's not.
Where's Blood Mephis, man? Come on.
Blood Mephis.
He would never. He would never.
I completely agree with that one trainer, the fact that Dragoons will probably be a short print. Alright, I'm not surprised. But I would still like to think that you'll be getting free a tin. Free a case.
You just need one copy.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then anything else you get, if people are willing to pay 50 quid for it, mate, you just sell it and you make like so much profit.
You can sell one Dragoons and then use that money and buy everything else you didn't pull.
Exactly that.
Winning.
Golden Lord will not be in the golden set, okay? That is literally people going, it's a golden set.
It's
means
got gold in its name.
No.
Adjusted gold.
Absolutely not. If Konami do it, fair enough. But I pretty much guarantee you it will not be in there. Like, that would be absolutely mental. Yeah, his plan was that during each ad break, he would change his nanoids or...
That's why I've been laughing with every ad break, because I just look to my left and I just see Donald, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Speedily trying to get through.
Who's the next one?
Donald.
Yeah, the leaks for the gold set were like 100% fake. Like, I mean, come on, guys, you should have seen that from the start. Like, as soon as Gold Lord was in there, you're like, no. And then there was like loads of banned cards, and then there was some other really unrealistic cards in there. I was like, yeah, that's not
those
happening.
things that people just really want off the ban list. Like, wasn't it Harpy's Feather Duster was in there as well?
Yeah.
I was just like, no. Just no. We'll never get Harpy's Feather Duster, I'm sorry. You can't let Danny search that card. Every game.
You didn't need a gold sock in the gold sock tins. You got gold sock. Anyway, Joe Donald, what are your thoughts on the high roll trap? What are your thoughts on the megatins?
You go first.
This time?
You go. It's fine.
Okay. So my thoughts. So like with the previous megatins, I do recommend getting case. Admittedly, I feel like even looking at back
if you
now,
can, they have sold out everywhere.
If
by the
you
way.
can buy a case.
yeah, if you can get a case, get a case. I even now, like looking back at last year's tin, like with all the promos in terms of like the what's it, the Monster Reborn, the Raigekis, and the Kakazuki Takahashi arts, the god cards, like there's so much. I feel like there was so much value that you could attain even from just getting the tins, when if you could get them like for the case value from the stuff that you pull. And it was I say quote unquote harder, if not near enough hard and possible to nag from buying a case. So yeah, as I'm reading in the chat. Yeah, the tins have been quite. I feel tins have been shorted this year. So like, I feel like it's either Konami is doing this deliberately, just so that.
What do you mean by tins have been shorted?
Sorry.
What do you mean by tins have been shorted?
So like, they're not attempting to supply as much.
No, that's not true.
Oh, is it?
So, from what I understand, what has happened is during lockdown, and you can see this with the pass-through products.
Oh, right.
Individual like vendors and retailers and stuff like that have seen an increase in sales. Now, the reason that is because all of the locals, like local stores, can't remain open. They can't. They're not going to buy as much product in. So because there was so much of a big value increase with online sales, vendors are buying a lot more. Now, this becomes evident in people that would usually buy a case are now buying like 10.
Right.
So you look at Rise of the Duelist, some people would naturally go, okay, cool, I'm only going to buy X amount. But now, because of this, because it's locked down, because I've been doing so well with online sales, I'm actually going to start buying tens cases. And the other thing that makes it even worse is people are buying these because of the prismatics. They're buying these because of like other hunt cards. And they're really, really causing issues for like you guys that just want to get your normal tin, because it also bumps the prices up. It also makes them harder for everyone to get. And you can see this in the evidence that prismatics were announced in BLAR, sold out. Prismatics are in Rise of the Duelist, sold out. Toon Chaos Collector's Rares were announced, sold out. I personally don't think it's Konami not producing enough.
Right.
I think it's Konami producing the same amount, but because of not producing the same amount, they're probably producing a little bit less because of the current situation, but they're still producing enough to be distributed to the standard outlets that they usually would. But the standard outlets are buying more, and the average Joe that's staying at home that has an online store has now decided to dabble into it so that he can do online sales. So it's just being spread across a lot more people. And I think that's why it may seem that it's being shorted, but I generally think the same amount is being produced. It's just more people at the... Because, I mean, like, it goes Konami and then, like, distributors and then, like, online realtors, locals and stuff like that. And I think it's going there, it's going to distributors, and then the third section is just being stretched so much thinner.
Right. So yeah, admittedly, that was what I didn't really understand on terms of that side, but yeah, because as you say, unlike the average Joe is just someone who would just attempt to just buy it from the distributors or whatever, or get it from the local local shops, wherever, anywhere I can see. And to then see like they don't have much in stock, or it's been sold out everywhere, and wherever I can find it, needs to be filled out. Oh, maybe it's Konami's fault then to not. But yeah, after explaining that, it's just the case of people are just heavily investing just to grab more of the stock. So what should you guys do? I would always probably suggest to try and buy much of it from bulk as well. That feels like I'm just saying you're aiding the vendor's side. The tins are
the problem.
If you want to help your local shops, because
pre-order. It's as simple as that. Go to contact your local store first.
Yeah.
And say, hi, look, I'm looking for the tins. and they'll pre-order them in for you. So they're like a couple of places that I've actually gone to, and I've said, look, this is a big set. I advise you not to just go, all right, a week before release, buy X amount. I say pre-order what you need and make sure people are aware of this so they can pre-order through you early. Otherwise, literally, so we've got, since Rise of the Duelist, there's 3 locals that we have near us. Every single one of them is sold out. No, technically 4. Every single one of them is sold out of Toon Chaos, sold out of Rise of the Duelist and Armageddon. It's absolutely crazy.
But yeah, support your local card shops. They're gonna need your support, and especially in this pandemic. So yes, buy from your local card shops. And without them, you'll have no more locals. So yeah, do what you will.
The quick turnaround on the unlimited run of Toon Chaos was because it was the first one of this period. The first one with collector's rares. The first one of like this whole lockdown product release. Like Eternity Code was right. So Dual Overload was right on the end, or right on the start of the lockdown. And then Toon Chaos was a couple of months in, where everyone was like, okay, we don't think this is going to last long. Everything's going to go out. But then, that was Eternity Code. So then when Toon Chaos came around, it was the first one with collector's rares, and literally everyone bought. I know everyone in the UK bought so much more than they naturally were because they found out that you would get 4 collector's rares out of a case. Now, a case probably costs about 800 quid. The collector's rares on pool were going from 100 to 150 pound each. So straight away, if you pulled 4 collector's rares, you were covering your entire case in value. And then all the ultras you pulled that were again worth more than they naturally are now was profit. And so it was literally just making money. Quick makes money, quick flips. Simple as that. I mean, I honestly think that Toon Chaos was rushed as well. There were so many factory issues I've seen. Like, a lot of just pack damage, missing golden eyes of Anubis and stuff like that. So that was very, very interesting. But I highly advise right now, while we're in a pandemic, you need to pre-order your products from your local stores, like hands down. And also, one thing I will say, I've said this before as well, make sure you're buying from a trusted seller, because the big difference with, less so with the tins, but with Battles of Legend Armageddon, Toon Chaos, and Rise of the Duelist, quite a few people could crack open a case, pull the prismatic 3 or 4 boxes in, and then the 6 boxes left over, they're just going to sell for major profit. Because they could sell it to you with the... like, unless the person openly comes out and says, look, I've already pulled a prismatic from this case, these 6 boxes are spare, but there's not going to be a prismatic in them. But if someone sells the 6 boxes to you and they're like, there could be a prismatic in here, even though they know there isn't, not trusted. So you've got to be very careful on that. How much do we think Boros Savage Dream will be after pre-release? Ultra's probably about 15 quid, maybe less.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
See, I think the Genesis Impact set might be a little bit different, purely because we're starting to slowly come out of this lockdown. But I do honestly say pre-order it, because the vendors that are still around after lockdown, there's no reason for them to stop. The only reason they would stop is because they're going to go back to their normal day jobs. But you still need to be careful. I mean, I know a couple of people that are buying more product now than they were before lockdown, but not by more. What I'm saying is not like, oh, I'm going to get 2 boxes instead of 1. They're getting, instead of 1 boxes, I'm going to get a case. So like quadruples or like 12 folds what they would usually get. The Genesis Impact set is like Toon Chaos, so it's like all rares, 3 ultras a box in the UK, and 4 collectors a case, maybe. Joe, Megatins, thoughts?
I like them. Like, overall, like, promos aside,
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. That's it. It's got product in it. But no, promos aside, the overall, I've always liked the Megatins for what they do as a general basis, like the actual concept. We're going to reprint the old sets and now one side set and just make it easier to get. Like the last one I loved, the bowl sword. Then you had the unicorn rarity bump. You had Soja Skull Dread in that set as well. That was a nice ultra print. Back then Soja was like heavily abused in multiple decks, so being able to get easier copies from him was great. But now we've got even better prints: Savage, Appaloosa, IP, Pot, Phantasme, Signet Mining. Just we've listed these cards, but there's even tons more. Stardish Seifert is in that set, so he could be like an ultra or super, depending how lucky we are.
I think if they follow the rarities of last year.
Oh yeah, if it's the exact rarity thing, it's going to be an ultra. But it could be a super. That would be lovely. But then it's got like other things in there as well. Like if they rarity bump the rares and commons, like we could be getting super Prankratops. Like that could be another nice little holo reprint for that boy. We can get a super. Like these are just fun ones I'm just listing that I just seen the comments like, oh, why is this in there? But when you think about it, for budget, just fun decks. The Dino Wrestler, Giga Spinosavate, he was a rare. I'd actually really like to see that card as a super because he's actually quite versatile for Dino decks. Like every Dino deck can essentially make him. That's just a nice free pop in the beta for you. As I said, the Prankratops, you got things like World Dino Wrestling and the Stegosaur. Those are nice little techs again for dinosaurs. But like, there's just so many things that can get a nice little rarity bump and rarity reduction that I really like the Megatins for this. So one Megatin, I can highly guarantee it will make back some of your money. Like, I don't see how this Megatin in particular cannot make you some money back just because there's tons more valuable cards in this set that can just help you. I'm just flicking through the set at the moment. The Valkyries are all in this set.
Actually negged.
Or at least the newer reprint ones. So that's nice. Valkyries, once we get to that Herald card from the OCG, Valkyries are going to be teched in things like the generators because it's like a 1 card level 9 play that helps you get your stuff going. Cherubini is in here. Whitefish Salvage, I can get a nice little super print for all the water decks. Yeah, it's just a really, really good set as a whole. So I'm really looking forward to it. Promos, I still think they could have just been better. Or just import things that just fit the themed. Like I saw on the Italian Yu-Gi-Oh's page, like they could have easily printed this Karibo that the OCG's got that searches Monster Reborn. It's got Egyptian hieroglyphs. It's got all the Millennium items all over the Karibo. That would have been like the perfect card to fit in the set, and they didn't put it in there. Like I just feel like they missed a lot in terms of importation.
What's the tins?
Hmm?
They never import into the tins.
No, but I mean, like, for promo aspect. Like, instead of making new cards for promos, just import more. You imported Dragoons, you could just import it more. Instead of making new cards, just import stuff that fit the theme. But that's besides the aspect. Is it worth buying? Yes, 100%. If you can get a case, should you buy a case? Yes, 100%. Just make sure, as Dale said, make sure that who you're buying it from is legit and isn't doing you over. If you can't buy a case, how many should you get? I think 2 to 3. Like that will do you. That should be enough. You should be able to get your money back from 2 to 3 tins.
We've already said this. Like, if you buy 3 tins, let's say on average you buy 3 tins, that's $75, right? If no matter where you get them from, but out of those 3 tins, if you pulled a Savage, an Extrav, and a Dragoons, you've made money already.
100%. One Dragoons
That's crazy.
makes those tins. If we're going by current trending prices for pre-orders of Dragoons, as we said, Dragoons, from what I saw, is like $70. So 3 tins. If you pull 1 Dragoons, you just have to pull a super or an ultra, and that makes the five extra dollars back. The rest is just profit. That's if you're going for profit. But if you're going for value for your own personal gain, anything 2 tins plus, that will do you. There's so much more value in this set, just from the general cards in there, than there's the previous one. I think they had to make the promos the way that they did in the last set because the mainline sets didn't have as much value going for them. So those promos had to be as good as Dark Ruler No More, like Nibiru, like Dimension Shifter, and things like that. Whereas this one, they had the ability to make brand new stuff that just fits a theme and not so much competitive aspect, just because they know the tins are the competitive aspect in terms of like the contents that you can get from those cards.
Yeah, definitely.
And the tin looks good. Like, storage aspect, the tin looks great. Like, I really love the design of it. I love the gold sock, but with the tablet on there, like, it just looks gorgeous. Like, I always like getting the tins just because, cool, have a little storage container. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think that I like the loose, slimmer ones as well. Like, because nothing ever gets used up in a tin. It's literally like this much space for packs.
That stupid plastic thing that you get. Yeah. Like, the annoying thing is, because I'm pretty sure Donald remembers this, but way back in the day when you'd buy a mega tin or like just like a promo tin, underneath that plastic you get like, they're terrible, but you get like a pack of sleeves and then some tokens. Like, that's just when we're getting like the Grinder Golo tokens and things like that. The sleeves were garbage, like just absolute trash. But at least it's something to fill that empty space underneath the plastic. But instead they got rid of that, but still kept the stupid plastic thing. Like, just at least give something underneath that, just to fill up that space to give me more profit on that tin. Like, even if it is the stupid, terrible sleeves, like, just putting some bad sleeves in there, but sleeves are sleeves. If you're a new player, like a brand new player, you're not really too fast on the quality of the sleeves, just so much that it's something to put the card in. And at least the first thing that's going to get damaged is that tacky sleeve. Yeah, at least it's some form of something protection for your high valued cards that you pull out that pack. Like, I think they should start bringing that back.
I'm going to fill your tins with cotton wool.
Yeah. Yes.
Winning. Cool.
I'll send you a picture of that Apollosa or that Dragoons I just cover in cotton wool.
Brilliant. Right, that was our Mega Tin 2020 review. I personally think it's a good product. I think Premium Gold have a lot to do. Like, they would have to do some like insane reprints to be better.
Are they keeping the gold rarity in Premium Gold?
Yeah.
What kind of gold rarity?
Apparently, it's supposed to be like the OCG's gold.
Oh, they're good gold.
Where it's like gold ulti. Not gold, but like gold raised. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see.
They do. They have the best gold rarity, the OCG.
Excellent. Right, let's move on to our end phase. Just before we move on to the end phase, don't forget we do have 2 giveaways going on right now. So for the first one, to win a Eternity Code, Dark Neo Storm, Chaos Impact, and Ignition Assault pack, all first ed, you need to tell me in the comments from the original anime, Season 1, how many blue eyes are said to be in existence? The second question, which will win you one of these structure decks. So the winner will get to choose from Mechanized Madness, Rocket Revolt, and Sacred Beast. What deck won Worlds in 2016? And then don't worry, we're going to do a final one as well, because this one is going to show the real
the juiciest
of the channel.
Of
the
prizes.
The juiciest of prizes. And it's the same goes for every single one of you at home as well that are listening along. Put them in the comments on iTunes, Podomatic, Facebook, iTunes, anything. Get them across to me, and then by next episode, I will announce the winner of those as well, and we'll be doing you a bundle. So everyone that either is watching live, if you go and listen to the podcast, you can put the questions at the end or wherever you want to, and we'll do a bundle for you guys as well.
And Donald, that Android placement was just an absolute disaster.
Let's move on to our end phase. So the end phase. Thank you so much to everyone that has joined us for episode 14 of During the End Phase podcast. This is a time where all three of us here will answer your questions. There's also some questions that have been sent in prior online as well, so I'm going to go look over those and answer them as well. So quickly as a recap, we have 3 giveaways currently, 2 going on right now, and I'm about to give you a third. And the third one is, trust me, it's what you've always asked us for. So I thought I'd be generous and get a set ready for you. So, first question. From the original anime, how many blue eyes are said to be in existence? The second question, what deck won Worlds in 2016? And the final question. The final question will get you something you can't buy in stores, something you can't find anywhere. And there are only 50 in the world. And I'm going to give you 3 of them. And that is Zephyr War Games official branded D6s. There you go. So, in order for you to win these, all I want to know, what was the channel's first video? I'll be impressed if anyone knows this off the top of your head, but, you know, except for the 3. I don't even think Donald and Joe know. That's how funny it is. Oh, Donald does. That's quite cool. So, yes, if in order to win some exclusive Zephyr War Games dice, there's only 50 in the world, and I'll be giving you 3 of them. You need to tell me in the comments below what was the channel's first video. Simple as that. Everyone listening at home, again, you put that in there. I will do the exact same bundle duplicated for one of you lucky winners at home as well. Now, let's get into listener questions. I'm just going to quickly read through. What was the year Prank Kids won? That was a YCS, not Worlds.
That's Ed.
Come on, Ed.
Poor Dolce deck profile.
Let's start with Metal Marvel 123. What's better to you guys? Main sets, side sets, or special sets? Ooh.
Ooh,
Oh God. What's better to, as in, like, what's our favorite?
Yeah.
Or just like, what do we think is just generally better?
What's better to us? So
better for us. I think for the overall player base, mainline sets. Because mainline sets cover pretty much all bases. It covers fans in terms of like anime aspects. It also covers the competitive aspect, and it also just covers like just everything else after that. If you're going for fans, I want to go like special sets. That would probably then count towards your character sets, but the way that they produce character sets is generally, in my opinion, terrible. So I think overall it has to be mainline sets.
He says favorite, yeah. No. Yeah.
Or favorites.
Just reading the question, yeah. The hoodie just shot on that. It is to do with ignites. For my favorite ones, I would have to go with the sort of side sets. This is primarily so that because sometimes when like the side set you get the archetype release, it will have near enough everything with to do the archetype. Downside is one of those two cards, if not three, or I'm thinking of Necros, however much that one was.
That was
Those
terrible.
cards are going to be like ridiculously expensive, short printed, or both. To be fair, something like that. But I really do enjoy having these side sets, so that like, okay, I am biased to probably say that in every side, in at least one or two, in every side set, there's been a waifu deck. But aside from that, side sets are great because they bring the archetypes, or print an archetype, a majority of them, into the one set. There.
Okay, I'm trying to catch back up. Main set, side set, special sets. Well, technically, I suppose if you go special set, you kind of cover everything in a main set and a side set, because special sets include reprints. So I suppose they're technically the best. Loophole. Deal with it.
So we got a bit of everything. We got mainline from me, side from Donald, and special from Nell. There we go. You covered all of it.
To be totally honest, I think I'm a sucker for main set because I like getting everything first. So,
It's true.
very sad truth.
And the mainline sets, to me personally, have just been getting a lot better.
What's better, Stun Gren or Castle Gren? Castle Gren. I think it's funny when they forget what Castle does.
And they attack.
Attack. Yeah, you're just like, destroyed.
It's the best thing in the
That
world.
stuff's funny.
If only there was a card that forced your opponent to go into battle phase and then forced them to attack. Which has been great.
There was one I watched on the anime. What was that? Because I literally just watched season 5 of the original anime again, and there was something I think Yugioh or Joey.
Because the issue with the anime is that the card can just force them to go into battle phase, but then they just stupidly attack anyway. So, like, whereas, like, in the official card game, if they force you into battle phase, I can say, like, okay, cool, I'm just going to go to my main phase 2 and just not attack.
No, there's a card that literally says all monsters must attack if able.
Battlemania.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you activate Battlemania, all opponents' monsters that they currently control must attack. So you're either asking them to get rid of your monsters, or you must attack with them. Which, under Golden Castle, you're getting rid of them, so yeah.
You are getting cleared off. Deal with it.
This needs to be like a top 3. What's the most top 3 crazy anime cards we've seen?
What's the most expensive card in the game?
I've already I found that one for him. Don't worry.
Okay.
What do you think had the most amazing artwork and attack animation in the anime? I loved. Again, I just watched season 5, so I can't understand how we haven't seen these in actual like cards, because like Renji's got one, Kaiba's got one, and the guy that plays Galaxy's got one. Like a card where it's them in armor. So how do we not have the cards of Yugi in Dark Magician armor, Magician of Chaos, and BLS armor? Like even in Blue Eyes armor, it's like, why have we not got a card like that? Like, surely that's a prize card.
Yeah, a lot of the rivals tend to get their themselves as monsters. Even Jack's got one. He's Super King Backjack.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
Super King Backjack is Jack Atlas. I believe he was used in the manga though, which is interesting. Along with Reggie. I think
Love
the only
because you didn't read Gold.
the only season that rivals didn't get a card was GX, I believe.
Well,
I don't think Chaz or Zane got a card, or them as a card.
Yeah, but then people would argue that like the Boojins are technically the forms of.
Yeah, but then like
but
not in the
if
anime.
we look at
Yeah, you can't count that. Can't count Boojins.
Yeah.
Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh anime? Mine's the original. Simple.
5Ds
I-
for me.
Jeez,
5Ds to me.
I like
is the
5Ds.
best.
Season 0.
I grew up on like Yu-Gi, so Season 0 is good, but it's technically not Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I think you see like the cards slightly pop up, but they never ever like.
So this is
play.
this is what's interesting with Season 0, because Season 0 kind of like takes the term Yu-Gi-Oh and puts that as the show, because the actual term Yu-Gi-Oh is King of Games, which is broadened to all games, and that's what Season 0 is to represent. Like the Pharaoh is the king of all games, not just Yu-Gi-Oh. But because Yu-Gi-Oh was so popular and people wanted to learn more about that card game, it then became more popular. So
I highly advise anyone that hasn't seen Season 0.
it's
go and
all
watch
on
it.
YouTube, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
It's
watch
so
the
dark.
Season 0 movie.
There's a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's with Red Eyes. It's all about Red Eyes, and it's the
You might
have
first.
Which version?
It's the first showing of Meteor Comet Dragon as well.
Didn't know there was a movie.
Yeah.
Because I tried watching it, and then it got to this point. Not the movie, but like the anime. And there's that part where that guy's watches are like growing out of his arm. It's like,
It's creepy. But the movie was good. I actually really liked it. It's where that quote that I sometimes say comes from, where blue eyes brings victory, whereas red eyes brings potential. And that's where I believe that's why they customize and they make the red eyes cards the way they do. Like the red eyes cards just never seem complete because they're supposed to bring the potential for a deck, and then that's why you mix other stuff with it.
always the bridesmaid.
Yeah, exactly. But it's cool.
Balos Warlock, what do you guys think about what I was talking about in the chat before? Ties in with the side set discussion and ultras in Genesis possibly being worth 80 plus. I don't think they'll be worth 80 plus because the difference with the Genesis and the Toons is the Genesis are all self-encompassed. Like, all those archetypes are only in that set, which is why I agree with Thomas as well. It should have stayed like the old sets where it was all supers and one secret. Unless they plan to make this like they did with the Infernoble Knights, where they're going to split some of the cards apart, which if they do, I'm disappointed. But
what's the Genesis? I think that's the only thing.
Genesis set is the one with the Magisters.
Oh, the new one.
Rituals. Yeah. And those the two.
It could just be the same. I don't see them changing that. Like
they already have. They've already confirmed it.
Oh, they have.
Yeah, so it's going to be like Toon Chaos, where they're all rares with 3 ultras a box and collector's rares. But see, the difference with the Toon Chaos one is the collector's rares, a good majority of them were like old school hype cards. Like you look at the most expensive ones are like Stardust and Original BLS. So it'll be interesting to see what they turn into Chaos rares in this. Collector's rares, sorry. But it'll be interesting. Do you think Konami should make more Yu-Gi-Oh merchandise such as toys like back in the days? They've kind of gone with Pops, really, ain't they?
Yeah, I think Pop is the thing. Sadly, we're still not going to get that dual disc.
Oh, God.
Like an actual official
like,
dual disc.
The dual... Oh, I've got one behind me. But you know, like the one that came out in Japan, it was like 300 quid.
Oh, yeah, that thing which has Kyber quotes in it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't do anything. It was literally just a giant chunk of plastic.
It's the exact same dual disc, the exact same plastic dual disc that we got many years ago. They just made it bigger and put Kyber quotes in it.
I was like, that's disappointing. Like, And also, I'll tell you what, the worst thing about watching season 5 is it reminds me of was it Dungeon Masters or Dice Masters, whatever it's called?
Oh yeah, Dungeon Masters, yeah.
I would like to think that if I'd seen that, I would understand the game and want to play the game a bit more. But I don't know if the game is anything like the anime.
It is.
It is, yeah.
It is exactly the same. Jay Witts did a review on it, and it plays the exact same as it does in the anime. The only things that they have different monsters that you can get, and and depending where you buy the product from, the dice operate differently. In American and basically everywhere that isn't Japan, the dice are just like already folded out paper in the shape, whereas in Japan you can actually get an actual dice that you can fold out like they do in the show, and then the monster can come out of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. If you got Tabletop Simulator though, you can play the whole thing on there.
Yeah, you can do that. I was thinking more like art books. Like I love the fact that they had the art book, but then they only like did limited runs of it. I would have loved to have like a lot more access, like if not another print of it, because I really enjoy how like you get the card, but then when you look at the art book and then you see like I guess zoomed out or the full picture, it's actually quite nice to have something like that. And perhaps maybe do that like on a yearly thing where they like review like all the artworks that were of the cards that were released in the year, and then they just put it in there, and then do something like it doesn't have to be like a big book per se. If they did like a yearly thing or just something like that would have been nice.
There's one thing that I actually found out just today that I never knew. Who remembers the I sent this to you, Dale, but who remembers the Paradox Brothers first duel with the Labyrinth Wall and how that operates? Yeah, apparently in the Volume 4 manga of the original Yugioh, they have official rules for Labyrinth play in that volume, in the back, exactly how you play it, if you want to play it in the official way. And when you read the rules, it's really interesting. It sounds really fun. Like, it doesn't work exactly how it does in the anime, but it's got perfect rules that you can just take out and just play. Now, all I want them to do is just make an official Labyrinth rule product, so you can just lay that out, and then you can just play the actual game. It's really interesting. You just need an actual Labyrinth to just play it.
Oh my god! Like £100 for a Dungeon Dice Monster starter pack with no mat.
Oh yeah, they're not easy to get, which is why I just think buy Tabletop Simulator. Just play it on there. It will give you everything, and you just spend £15.
It's depressing because I remember actually having these.
A friend of mine from uni had them as well because he was collecting them. Like, the models are actually really nice, like on their own, as like little collectibles.
Heads asking, send it to him later, yo. I saw Carl's.
I'll send you the video.
Oh god, why? Why do I do this? Of course I can.
Like, it's interesting. Like the rules are like you have to pick 3 monsters. You can pick monsters whose total level of stars equal 20, and then you just move them around the map. Like, you can attack the thing in front. Like, if you're in a 1 square space in front of the monsters opposing you, you can attack them. But if you have like 2 monsters of yours in front of one person of the opponents, both your monsters can attack, and the stats stack.
Oh, you are thinking, we just use mods, just like.
So like literally, yeah. So like, it's interesting. So yeah, if you had like 2 obelisks against like 1 dark magician, it's like, cool. I have 2 obelisks totaling 8,000 against your 1 dark magician. Good luck.
But then 2 dark magicians could be over the obelisk.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you got teamwork play, so you can like strategize that way, and then the winning goal is to just knock out all of your opponent's monsters. Like, whoever knocks out the opposing team wins first. And that's it. But it's really interesting. I like the level mechanic. Like you only have 20, but you can change it essentially. Like if you really wanted to have like exactly how it does in the anime, you can take all the rules as it is in the book, but then just change the 20 level rule to I have the whole deck and just play that way.
Biggest mistake in Yugioh.
It's cool.
Are we talking anime? Are we talking card game? Are we talking one that we made?
It's like bit of Marvel saying, "What's the biggest mistake in general, Yu-Gi-Oh, besides me?" Oh, biggest mistake.
That's what I mean. Like, are we
Yeah,
talking
just
about
in general? Like
Yu-Gi-Oh
what?
in general?
You need to
Are we talking about one
elaborate.
that we've done?
My biggest
Or we-
mistake is just getting fat. But in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't know. Buying the dusted gold. I really didn't.
I was
need
gonna
it.
say the game would probably be power creeping so quickly. The anime it would probably be like I would say VA choices, voice actor choice.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Something like that.
So you've got an issue with voice acting, but for the anime to put a Curse of the Dragon on top of Catapult Turtle without there even being a fusion, and then destroying the flotating ring that then comes down and crushes the rest
Hey,
of the
we all
monsters.
love that scene. Who hasn't watched that
Like,
episode 3 times?
That could have all been fixed. It could have literally just been the castle could have been, if this card is destroyed, destroy all monsters you control, but made it OP as hell. And then the Curse of the Dragon could have just had a fusion with Catapult Turtle. And then again, that would have been fixed. Like, I mean, two things. You had two things
So,
you could have made.
the thing is, though, when the first season got made, the card game wasn't officially made. Apparently, in Japan. That's what I've heard. So the rules weren't officially in place when the first anime was made.
That's
So
interesting.
if that's true, then that makes total sense and why official rules didn't start slowly taking place until Battle City. And even then, they still blotched some of them. Like, oh, my Summon Skull's electrical attack merged with my Alpha the Magnet Warrior, so his attack points get so stronger because it's magnetized.
And Soldiers of Stone attacks the moon and causes all the waves to recede. And then
I actually
Sloth the Sky
think
Dragon gives Buster Blader an attack buff just because his name's Dragon.
I think season 2 of the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime was a mistake. Was the putting the cards up as anti,
Oh yeah,
because that led to card game getting banned in schools, because there was all this argument of like people that lost didn't want to give over their card, and I think that was actually a really big issue that probably shouldn't have been in
yeah,
the anime.
definitely. But Seto Kaiba
So there you go.
really
You
wanted
guys
those
didn't
god
know
cards.
the rules were just proto rules of the game. I did not. I used to like Duelist Kingdom.
I think
It's still one of my favourite ones.
Yeah.
Just like so much happens. Like all of the games as well were really cool.
It's fun. It's fun to watch.
And
Like,
I like the Yugi moment with Kaiba as well. Like the second battle, and then I just think all the battles were cool. Like Rex and Joey, Mai and Joey, Bones and Joey, Yugi and Weevil to start the whole tournament off was really good. Yugi and Pain, Panic, and then the Paradox Brothers was really good. So I thought it was cool. What is the best thing about the cards and anime? Anything that isn't Dawn of the Duel is wrong.
Okay, Ed. Best thing about the cards.
story.
I love lore.
Lore.
I think that's what like they really need to do, like a lore,
But
something like a proper lore anime or something.
the artwork, yeah, that is true.
There's so many times where like I really want to know the Dogmatica and Tri Brigade lore as well.
That's going to be interesting.
The
to read.
Infernoble Knight lore, so cool.
Oh. Down the continent. Yeah.
There's one question in the chat from the very beginning. Someone asked, "How do I improve my
Oh yes.
chemical deck?"
His Water Dragon.
Yeah, so you
Water
can
Dragon.
either mix it with mill cards and things like water support, or dinosaur support. So you got two options there. A legendary ocean's interesting, like that support, just because it makes your Deuterodon level 4, so you can start normal summoning him, revise stuff, and just go for a beatdown strategy. The dinosaur support's interesting though, just because they're all dinosaurs, so you got that nice mix there. So whichever fits your fancy. Just bear in mind with dinosaur support, it does make Water Dragon and Cluster weaker because they're sea serpents and they're not dinosaurs. So you do lose a bit of attack values.
Learning
Cool.
something new every day. Okay, we are now on 2 hours 20.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to remember to. Oh no, I can put this all in one. Does anyone else have any final questions? We will be leaving at 10:30 if you do. Otherwise, we'll be leaving shortly because in the last 5 minutes as well, I'll do the giveaway winners. So I'll give you guys the last 10 minutes. So the 3 questions we've got is from the OG anime, original anime, season 1. How many blue eyes are said to be in existence? Question number 2 is what deck won Worlds in 2016? And the final question was, what was the first video on the channel? So easy. So easy. Bonus question as well. If anyone can tell me what is the most profile deck on the channel.
I can think of 2. Or 3, actually, I don't know.
Do you think Guard Dragon LP will be banned on the ban list?
No.
Why do you think that it will or won't it be hit?
No. Purely just because dragons aren't doing as much consistently. They're doing well at the moment, but they're not consistent.
Dragon Link?
Yeah, but I mean consistent, as in like not every tournament at the moment gets dragons topping. Like they get that, they'll do well, then like a month or so they'll do nothing, and then a month after that you'll get one topping. So I think like they're using the strategy of like, oh, we'll do well, then we won't do anything, so people won't think we're showing up, and then we'll show up again and get the surprise top.
You think Dragon Link players are going, I could win this weekend, but there's too much heat on my deck. I need to lie low.
Exactly. They don't want LP to get hit.
If that's the case, Donald's Madolches must be burning. I mean, come on. Most profiled chaos or twice.
3 times a week.
It's too much, man. It's too much. Oh, you missed it yesterday. That was quite funny. Do you think Linkross will be banned? No. I still think it's too soon.
Yeah, anything.
I still think there's nothing right to be banned as well.
Anything, to do with the high 5 combo could be argued to be too early because it hasn't had the time to play in formats. People might start citing Dragon Capture Draft. Of course you would say that.
There's not even a question mark to that. That's an actual statement. Better dig out those commons. They could be the next £20 card.
That'd be brilliant.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
That would be the day.
Okay.
What will be our next topic for? What will be the next podcast topic of discussion? Have we decided?
You think I plan that far ahead? Come on.
I thought we were professionals.
We are professionals. But we do videos in between. I've been doing like live streams just spontaneously because my internet is no longer a potato, which is amazing. I will show you this though, because typically, right, I'm waiting for a particular card, and I was like, oh cool, can you guys keep an eye on the post for me because I've got a special delivery turn up. Someone said, oh yeah, it turned up. I was like, oh excellent, cool, my Starlight Gaia is going to be here, and it wasn't. It was these instead. Oh hello, just going to chuck the cards around. And the worst thing is, these cards were actually one of these is supposed to go to Marley. So I was like, well, typical Marley, I saw you today, and these turned up. I mean, can you imagine the price? So this is a Ghost Rare Eternity code. Ghost Rare... Brain's gone dead.
Access code talker.
Thank you, Joe. It's Ghost Rare Access code talker. Can you imagine how much this card would cost if it was in the TCG? Like, ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Oh, we've got a question. Do you
Wait,
think
you guys are professionals since when? We're not professionals. Who said we were professionals? They're lying.
Do you think it's better to get an expensive card that's good for all decks, or an expensive card that's extremely good for a select few decks?
The first one.
So let's put it into perspective. Do you think it's good to get Magician Souls or Access Code?
Access.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right.
Access.
I definitely go with the one that can be used in everything over the one that's a select, because it makes the value better. Also, it means I can use that pricey card more.
but yeah, it is a bit of a downer when you're playing like those selective few fun decks that just really need that expensive card. For example, I mean, yeah, it's like the hero argument, like where you had like adjusted golds and banes and whatnot, or I'm just trying to think what was a good example. I mean, if we go far back, let's say Necros. That was like one of the most like infamous ones where like stuff was like short printed to absurd values and stuff like that. So yeah, and cards were ridiculously expensive. So yeah, expensive card that's good for all decks. That's that one.
There you go. What do you all think of Plunder Patrol? I can't wait till the OCG gets them, because they always seem to provide a broken card. I think the only times that they failed in doing this is Time Thief and Dangers, and that's because we'd already got the most broken cards they could possibly have.
I think it's an interesting concept to be able to just like get like extra deck monsters out based on the attribute, but yeah, like it would have been nice for the deck to get all the attributes so it can at least be functioning to combat all situations. Whether to get a divine attribute extra deck monsters, well, probably not.
Yeah, I agree. They should just got everything, but they haven't got everything, so it's a tough deck to play.
Yeah, well, the OCG are getting Dream Mirrors, so I don't know when they're going to get Plunders. There still might be another round of support because we've got the Infantum Rage.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be more, so not more Plunders. That's not confirmed yet, but there's more exclusives, so it'll be cool to see what we get. And FYI, just so everyone knows this, they're technically not TCG exclusives, by the way. They're actually originally OCG cards, and the OCG create them, make them, and then they tell us what ones we can have. So, yeah. What do you think the TCG exclusive in Phantom Rays will be? They could be anything. Like Konami pull out absolutely anything. I would rather they finish off what they've already started. So Time Thief, Dream Mirrors, and Plunder Patrols, and then do new ones. But
or new Cosmo, because
New
based on
Cosmo.
the new stuff, but then again,
their own version of E-Telly.
like new monsters based on like the new films, but then like you've kind of already like used everything in Wizard of Oz, because if Wizard of Oz would ever get rebooted, new stuff, I don't really know it's gonna be.
No, you can give it another Star Wars character. You'll be fine.
But it would need to
The
tie
Yellow
it,
Brick Jedi.
yeah, with the
What's the best art type you think we can get from Genesis Impact? Well, we haven't seen the last one yet, have we?
they look like not phantom,
They look like cat burglars.
cat burglars. Ah, there you go. They're gonna pun it. I swear. They're like phantom people, cat burglars.
I think the Magisters will be chased, but I don't think they're going to be that great. I think the Rituals will be chased, but again, I don't think they're that great. And I honestly think that the cat burglar ones are going to be the chase ones. I think they're going to be the waifu deck. Yeah, there you go. But how does Jerome have a job then? Because he's allowed to reveal TCG cards. You've got to remember the hierarchy. It's OCG Konami, TCG Konami, and everything else. Do you think we should get product at the same time as the OCG? No. No, I'll tell you about. I would love to.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's ever going to be possible. Right, they would need to do so much to try and bring us in sync, and the only way you do that is we would have to. Joe's typing. We would have to, like, you'd get two boxes right next to each other, which just wouldn't be good.
Sadly, 10:38.
Yeah, it is now 10:30, so we are gonna wrap up. Which one do you think is best dimensional dragon, counting their other forms? Joe can answer that because he loves the dimensional dragons.
Starving.
There you go.
I want to go clear. I want to clear wing.
Right, okay. Let's announce these winners. All of the winners that do get announced, please message us either on our Instagram or Facebook, or message us on a comment on YouTube, and we will arrange the next best medium for you to send me your postal address so I can send these off to you. So, from the OG anime, how many Blue Eyes are in existence? Joe, what is the answer?
4.
Please get it right. There we go. I thought he was going to say 3. I was like
5, because we count the tablet one.
And there we go. Donald being Donald. So the winner of that one, I'm just trying to find. Give me 2 seconds. Acroc Shadow. There you go. Well done, Acrocs. You have won yourself 4 packs. 1 Ignition Assault, 1 Eternity Code, 1 Dark Neo Storm, and 1 Chaos Impact. So please PM us on Facebook, YouTube, or of course Instagram, and we will arrange to get them shipped out to you. The second question, what deck won Worlds in 2016? It's as if it was related to the first question. Donald, what was the answer?
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
There you go. It was, in fact, Blue Eyes White Dragon. So, congratulations to Thomas Patterson. Well done on that one. You can choose yourself a Rocket, Sacred Beast, or Mechanized Madness structure deck. And again, message me on, or message the channel on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, and I will get that shipped out to you as well. And the last one was, what was the channel's first video? The answer, of course, was Ignites. I don't even know how that became our first one, but it was.
It's like
so congratulations to Cyrus Legrand on that one. You have won yourself 3 exclusive Zephyr War Games branded dice. and I will be able to send them out to you as well. So again, PM us directly and I will sort that out. Now, a final bonus question. Do not worry, it's not all over. Everyone that is listening at home, I'm going to give you a question yourself. So everyone listening at home and anyone that is live right now, if you want to answer and enter this as well, I'm going to give away to you guys a bundle of all of this pretty much. But basically the question I want you to ask, or answer, is what is the most profile deck on the channel? And the final question, so this is a two-part, I want you to get both of these. Which company owned the rights to the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG game before Konami? You don't need to give me the answers to both of those now. You can give them to me at any point over the next week. This giveaway will be opening for the week. And in order for that, you will win yourself a sealed Legendary Duelist set, plus one of the structure decks, plus one of the dice, and a couple of random booster packs as well. So all you need to do is, of course, you need to be subscribed to the YouTube channel, follow us on... brain's just gone dead. Follow us on Podomatic, Spotify, and iTunes. Leave us a review. That would be great. But then answer both of these questions. What is the most profiled deck on the channel? And which company owned the rights to the TCG game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Before Konami? Don't put them in the live chat now because they won't be counted. You need to put them on either iTunes, Podomatic, or Spotify, or send them to me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm just going to read the final chat one more time, just in case there are any last questions. So well done Acrox, well done Thomas, and well done Cyrus. So please, all of you, message me on Facebook or Instagram, and we will arrange to get these shipped to you guys as well. So thank you so much for everyone that joined us live for episode 14 of the Only End Phase podcast. It will be available possibly next week on iTunes, Podomatic, and Spotify for you all to listen to and enjoy. But for now, thank you so much. I have been Dale. That's been Joe in the top left. That's been Donald in the top right with his many arrayed collection. Thank you so much for everyone that's joined us. We will see you all probably on our next live stream or the next video that comes out. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time.